Terry Venables, warmly remembered by all in football and all inside here at Ellen Road. Danny Mills alongside me. You played for Terry Venables here.
Yes, I think he came here, what was it, 2002, after the World Cup, that he came here. I mean, effervescent character. The picture they've just put up on the screen, that cheeky half grin that he had, sort of, not quite looking at the camera, but a twinkle in his eye, loved a pink shirt. That was Terry Venables. That was exactly how he was pretty much every single day. Obviously loved his football, didn't really go as well here as he wanted to. Huge changes at the football club during that period, but you could just tell, he loved life, he loved football, and he always had that cheeky smile on his face.
He will be so missed, Terry Venables. Remembered here at Ellen Road ahead of kick-off, where we're about to get underway. Leeds United unbeaten at home in the Championship under their new manager Daniel Farke. They lost third place in the table last night to West Brom. You heard it live on Talksport 2 as the Baggies won by 1-0 at the other South Wales Championship side, Cardiff. But Swansea here in all dark green will be attacking the Revy end in the first half. We're underway. Leeds in all white are heading for the Norman Hunter stand to our right. Myself and Danny Mills are sat halfway back in the John Charles main stand here at Ellen Road, with the Revy end immediately to our left, and as usual a good, I would say, 35,000 fans inside this famous old stadium tonight. I'll run you through the lineups. Leeds have made a couple of changes from their 1-1 draw with Rotherham that we brought you last Friday night on Talksport 2. But one of those players who's definitely starting is Crescencio Somerville, who's racing Rutter down the left-hand side of the area for Leeds, who drives it across, and Daniel James has given Leeds the lead inside 40 seconds, but the flag goes up for offside to deny Daniel James and Leeds a sensational start. It is still 0-0.
I'd like to see that again. A fantastic move down the left-hand side.
Oh, and now a poor header back allows Swansea to get in, and the ball's in the back of the net. What a finish from Jamie Patterson. He's lobbed the keeper, and within a few seconds of Leeds thinking they got ahead, only for the offside flag to deny them. A poor defensive header at the back for Leeds, I think from Pascal Strike, seized upon by Jamie Patterson, who clipped the ball on the half volley over the despairing Ilhan Meslier. It dropped into the Revy end. What a sensational opening minute on Talksport 2. Swansea have the lead.
This has to be the craziest first minute of football I think I've ever seen. Unbelievable. It was Pascal Struijk that, not really sure what he was trying to do. Was he trying to play the ball back to Joe Rodon, head it back to his keeper? Did neither, got it completely wrong. And as you say, Patterson nipped in. And it's a beautiful little lob on the half volley. Absolutely sensational finish. Probably his first touch, I would have to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Controls it and just almost scoops it over the top of the onrushing Meslier into the far corner, drops into the back of the net perfectly. But seconds before that, we've still not had a replay yet because so much has happened in that time. Somerville bursting down the left-hand side, and then the cross came in from Rutter, absolutely drove it across the 36-yard box. And I can only, must have been fraction offside for Dan James.
The flag did go straight up, in fairness, from the assistant on this near side, and then Swansea go at the other end and take the lead against Leeds United. Remember, Swansea down in the lower reaches of the Championship, starting the night in 18th.
Would you say that's against the run of play, Dance?
Sorry?
Would you say that's against
the run of play? You could actually, you could make it. There'll be somebody saying that somewhere around here. Let me quickly run you through the lineups. Ilhan Meslier in goal for Leeds United. Archie Gray, Joe Rodon, Pascal Strike and Sam Byram in the back four. Liam Cooper, who went off against Rotherham, is fit to be on the bench tonight, incidentally. Ethan Ampadu and Glenn Camara are the holding midfielders, and then Daniel James, Joel Piroux once off Swansea, and Crescencio Somerville behind Jorginho Rutter. As for Swansea, Carl Rushworth is their goalkeeper. Back four of Josh Key, Ben Cabango, Bashir Humphries and Josh Timon. Then Jay Fulton and Matt Grimes, a very experienced defensive midfield pair for Swansea. In front of them, Ollie Cooper, Jamie Patterson, the goal scorer, and Jamal Lowe. Jerry Yates is the striker in the 4-2-3-1. They've won 3 games away already in the league of Swansea, and they have the lead here on Talksport 2. We've played 3.5 minutes. Leeds 0, Swansea 1. And Glenn Camara gives the ball to Somerville, who's bursting through the inside left position. Sends it in for Piroux. It's 1-1. The law of the X strikes, and Joel Peru, who left Swansea for Leeds in the summer, scores against his old club. And within 4 minutes, we've had 2 brilliant goals here at Ellen Road, and Leeds are level, 1-1.
Somerville's the difference. That's twice already. He's got the ball. He's so direct. He's so quick. When he picks the ball up, he just runs directly at people. And he plays a lovely little pass in behind, perfectly weighted. And Perrault doesn't have to break stride, steps onto it, opens his body up, slots it into the far corner with his right foot. A really good finish. But that's all about Somerville. He created the first one that was ruled out for offside for Leeds. He's just created that one that does count.
Joel Peru makes it 7 for the season, but that one will mean more than the other 6 in the Championship, I wager, for Joel Peru against his former club, where he scored 46 goals in less than 100 appearances for Swansea. Came here in August, and the Dutchman has levelled it up at Ellen Road. Great start here on Talksport 2. Hope you're enjoying it as much as myself and Danny Mills are bringing it to you here in West Yorkshire. Now, what have Swansea got to try and respond? They lose out, and Ampadu finds Glenn Camera. Good sliding challenge, though, in from Ben Cabango, and here comes Patterson again, sliding it down the right side of the box. Cooper with a cross. It ricochets off a couple of Leeds shirts and is whacked away. But they've kept it alive, have Swansea. Grimes just lobs it over the top, asking Jay Fulton to give chase. And they elect to put it out of play to Leeds. It was put out of play by Sam Barham in the end for a throw into Swansea. This is incredibly high-tempo stuff at 1-1, Danny Mills.
Unbelievable. You know, we're opening 5 minutes has been absolutely action-packed. 2 fantastic goals. You know, yes, there was a mistake from Pascal Struijk, but you have to say that the finish was sensational from Patterson. But Leeds, really, the directive has to be get Somerville on the ball and let him just keep doing that, keep running at people, causing problems. Watching
him in the first half, in the game we brought you on Talksport 2 last Friday at Rotherham, he was really enjoying himself out there in South Yorkshire, back on home turf. He looks the man most likely, and he is the top scorer, at least now the joint top scorer for Leeds United in the Championship this season. Peru has now joined him on 7 goals for the season. And we're just seeing a replay on our monitors of the early offside flag, and it does look like Daniel James is just marginally. We could be talking an armpit here, but of course, thankfully, Danny, I say thankfully, in my opinion, we are in a VAR-free zone. So
I quite agree with no VAR.
All given away by Leeds again at the back. Here's Grimes teeing up Cooper at the edge of the area. He takes a left-footed shot, deflects off Ampadu and behind. Leeds have gone to sleep again at the back, and they were very nearly made to pay again. But it is a corner to Swansea at 1-1.
This could end up 8 each at the moment, the way that it's going. It's so open, it's unbelievable.
Barely 7 minutes gone.
Yeah, you'd have thought after both teams have scored, it'd just be a little bit, okay, just take a breath, just work your way into the game a little bit. But they're both just going at it, 100% looking to score.
Josh Tymon takes the corner short to Jamal Lowe on this near side, the left. Gets it onto his right foot, lovely ball in, headed away by Struijk. Comes out to the edge of the box, and Grimes, who tried to drive it from distance, landed in a crowd of players. Good header on halfway by Cabango for Swansea, helped on by Humphreys, but Leeds win it back, and Rutter on this near side just can't get away. The ball's hooked out of play by Patterson for a Leeds throw, which will be taken by Archie Gray, playing at right back for Leeds. He can play in a number of different positions. The grandson of Eddie, of course. Daniel Farker just behind him as he stands at the edge of his technical area. That's Gray puts the ball back into play, but it's won back quickly by Jamal Lowe, having returned to Swansea City. Ball's back with Ilan Meslier, the Leeds goalkeeper, at the Revienne to our left. He drives it left-footed up to halfway. Peru, the goal scorer for Leeds, collects it and can turn and move down the right-hand side. Daniel James up against Tymon, goes on the outside of him, gets to the byline, tries to hit the crossing, but credit to Tymon, stuck to his task and conceded the corner at the Norman Hunter stand end for Leeds. It's 1-1 on Talksport 2.
Fabulous game so far. Magnificent start from both teams. But it's interesting, I think Swansea are playing more of a 4-4-2, and I think they're trying to put a high press on Leeds. They're trying to go after at the back, not let them settle on the ball. and that's just maybe unsettled them a little bit, causing one or two mistakes at the back.
Somerville will have the corner where the John Charles meets the Norman Hunter stand, into the near post. Jamal Lowe, well, he tried to head it cleared, it went beyond him, but it did ricochet back into his path. But having sent the ball up to halfway, the fleet-footed Daniel James is there first for Leeds to guide it back.
Just going to keep an eye on Dan James. He's just limping a little bit after that burst down the right-hand side. Know where he's picked up a little knock or something. Just going to see what happens to that. They certainly won't want to lose him. The pace that him and Somerville have really does cause defenders problems.
Leeds record at home so far this season, 5 wins and 3 draws from their 8 championship fixtures at Ellen Road. It's 1-1 on Talksport 2 with 9 minutes gone on your home of the EFL. Rutter can't control a ball that drops out of the sky, but it comes out to Glenn Camera. Lovely reverse ball to find Rutter again, who's looking for Byram down the left-hand side of the area. First time cross, claims for handball, and our referee, Sam Allison, waves away the claims for handball, as it was Josh Key that went to ground as Byram tried to put the ball across the penalty area, but nothing doing, said the ref. No thought of a penalty.
No, it hit his thigh, then bounced onto his arm. Well, if you're in the Champions League, apparently that means you get a penalty. It shouldn't do. No way, shape or form ever should that be a penalty.
Leeds United 1, Swansea City 1, if you're just tuning into EFL Live here on Talksport 2 this Wednesday evening. Leeds, who were third at the start of the week, but West Brom's win has knocked them temporarily down to fourth. But a positive result here will send Leeds back up the table. They're 7 points adrift of Ipswich in second place, as the ball's worked down to the halfway line, and Matt Grimes. Now here's Ben Cabango giving the ball back to Josh Key, into the feet of Ollie Cooper, tries to play the ball through the centre, looking for the run of Jamie Patterson, but it was just hit too firmly and away from him. And Pascal Strike will give the ball back to his keeper Mellier. Joe Rodon just to his right, former Swansea man Joe Rodon, who went to Tottenham Hotspur and made, 20 odd appearances, I think, Danny, for Tottenham, but Joe Rodon never seemingly was given a chance by a succession of Spurs managers.
Well, sometimes it happens. You know, it's difficult. When you only get one chance, you come into a game, you're not match sharp, you haven't played an awful lot of football, you do okay, but unless you're brilliant, you maybe don't get another chance, and it's tough. You need that consistency sometimes to play 7 or 8 games on the spin.
Jorginho Rutter looking for Daniel James on the right wing. He'll keep it in play just down by the corner flag to our right-hand side. Up against the challenge of Timon. Puts the ball into the far post. It's a good header cleared by Josh Key. It'll drop for Glenn Camera. Just outside the penalty area. Has to run back towards the midway point of the half to keep possession. Plays a little 1-2 with Somerville. Byron waiting on the far left-hand touchline. Receives it now. Level with the edge of the Swansea penalty area. Now it's a lovely ball in the box for Somerville. Drives for the byline. Back to the near post. And somehow it's smuggled clear for Swansea. Bashir Humphries, the man who just hoofed it out of the 6-yard line when Crescencio Somerville had a lovely darting run into the box. Good save by Carl Rushworth and his near post in the end. 1-1.
Yeah, it was another little ball played in behind that Somerville's onto quick as a flash. But I don't know what Ben Cabango's thinking. We can all see it from here exactly what's going to happen. He just sort of stood and watched.
Oh, he's giving it away. Jamie Patterson and Rutter tried to get in. Now the referee's getting a lot of verbals from Jamie Patterson, but the referee tried to play an advantage for a good long time, and Patterson had the ball for a good 5 or 6 seconds, and I think the referee, Sam Allison, decided that the advantage no longer needed to be brought back for a free kick. Swansea very nearly made to pay. 1-1, great game. 12 gone on Talksport 2. Here's Rodon on halfway. Gives the ball to Strike, who's captaining Leeds tonight, having been brought into the side. Here's the other guys coming tonight. Byram, who's offside as he moves into the area, rolls the ball calmly into the back of the net, but the flag had long since gone up against the man who played for Daniel Farke at Norwich, which 1-1.
Some of the defending from Swansea at the moment is awful. So basic. That's just a straight ball in behind and the fullback running onto it. You've got to see that coming. You've got to defend the goal. The most important thing, go with the runner.
Bashir Humphries, youngster on loan from Chelsea at Swansea, plays the ball out to the right-hand side. Jay Fulton Just lay it off to Ben Cabango. Cabango just lobs it down the right-hand side. Nowhere near finding its intended target, which was Josh Key. And away goes Somerville. Was he obstructed as he went down the left-hand side? He's gone to ground, and he's not really moving over on the far side of the field. But the referee, again, right on the spot, said no foul, and Somerville...
I missed that one, Dan. It's a little bit off the ball, perhaps.
Well, he just ran straight into Fulton. And Fulton wasn't really deliberately trying to step across his path.
No, Fulton didn't see him coming. He didn't move. Somerville ran off the back of another player, and it was Somerville that ran into Fulton, not the other way around, but he's come off worse.
He has come off worse, Somerville, and he needs some treatment. So these are the only goals we have for you so far in the Championship tonight. There are other games: Blackburn, Birmingham, Sheffield Wednesday against the leaders Leicester, Southampton, Bristol City, Sunderland against Huddersfield, and they're just getting underway in the 8 o'clock kick-off at Portman Road. Ipswich Town against Millwall. So we'll keep you in touch with goals as they go in from those games. Earlier tonight, you heard it live on Talksport 2. Manchester United surrendered a lead twice to Galatasaray and ended up a 3-3 draw in Istanbul that leaves their Champions League qualification hopes on a slim knife edge going into their final game against Bayern Munich. And of course you can react to tonight's action right now over on Talksport, Manchester United fans, with Adrian Durham, or you can save your call for the Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy from 10.
Somerville's still down. I mean, it didn't look that bad. He just ran into him. It was shoulder to shoulder as much as anything.
Shoulder into chest, I think.
Yeah,
it was sort of, yeah.
But I mean, he's been down an awful long time.
Yeah, he's only just now sitting up, Crescencio Somerville, for Leeds. So players are just standing around waiting.
Can you imagine already that from the way the game started, what are we, 15 minutes in?
Mm-hmm.
If we had sin bins tonight...
Oh, don't.
No, realistically, though, there'd already be about 9 players in the sin bin. Because...
We'd have 9 players in the sim. If FIFA had their way, every corner kick we've had would have been contested. Every throw-in would have been contested. We'd be hit till midnight.
But the problem is, all you're doing with that is adding another layer of subjectivity. Because what's dissent? Can you define what dissent is?
No.
Because if something happens and I throw my arm in the air, technically that's dissent, right?
Exactly.
That might just be out of my frustration.
Yes.
But the referee goes, so you're... And all of a sudden... 3 or 4 players put their arms in the air and no way, ref, don't believe that.
Yeah.
What, you're going to send the ball to the sin bin?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ludicrous what they're thinking about trying to do.
Leave the game alone.
I get, it's that cynical foul one sometimes.
Yes.
What do you do about that? I guess that's what they're looking for.
We're back under the way, by the way, because...
But players are getting booked for dissent, aren't they, this season? There's a lot more players getting booked for dissent.
If they do the imaginary yellow card sign to the referee, they get an immediate booking, and kicking the ball away.
I've watched a lot of EFL this season.
Yeah.
A lot of players getting booked for dissent.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And of course, then you're getting to that time of year now where they're going to start to get suspended. And then the manager's going to go, hang on a minute, you've had 2 or 3 yellow cards.
And if the manager knows that the player's got those suspensions for swearing or using foul and abusive language to the referee...
And this is the first season where really it started to kick in, isn't it? Where referees have started brandishing yellow cards for dissent.
Lovely skill from Rutter on the left-hand side, incidentally, but the ball's gone out of play. So we've played 17 minutes, but we've had a few minutes delay for the injury to Crescencio Somerville. He's back out there, incidentally, looking none the worse for wear, thankfully. It's Leeds United 1, Swansea City 1. Both goals coming within the opening 5 minutes. A goal inside a minute from Jamie Patterson after we thought Daniel James had put Leeds in front inside 40 seconds, only for the offside flag to deny him. But then Joel Peru, the old Swansea man, scored against his former club almost bang on the 5-minute mark. And that's where we're at. 1 apiece on Talksport 2. Archie Gray on this near side just gets clipped by Jerry Yates, and that's a free kick. And ironic cheers from the locals that Sam Allison's given a decision their way. And Archie Gray will take the free kick short. Backwards to square to Roden. And now Pascal Strike threads the ball out to the far side, and Sam Byram, who's in the side for Junior Firpo tonight. Liam Cooper also dropped. He was off injured against Rotherham, and there was a fear that Liam Cooper might be out for some time, but he's on the bench tonight for Leeds United. On the bench for Swansea, Yannick Balassi, recently signed, who's was last playing in Turkey, the former Crystal Palace and Villa and Everton midfielder. That's an interesting option for Michael Duff to have later on.
Plenty of experience, I'd say he's got. Not sure how match ready he would be. Might be a little bit rusty.
Benfica 1, Inter 0 in the Champions League. Arsenal at home to Lens this evening. We'll keep you updated with any goals going in there at Emirates Stadium. But here at Ellen Road, it's 1-1. Rutter fouled just next to Daniel Farke's technical area. Just got nibbled from somebody's right boot, and it's a free kick to Leeds United as they're attacking the Norman Hunter stand on this crisp, clear, chilly night, but barely a breath of wind. It's perfect for late autumn, early winter football.
Yeah, great night for football. Yes, it's a little bit chilly, but not for the players.
Strike on halfway. Looks out left for Somerville, who's got Ollie Cooper and Josh Keefer company. He's got past Ollie Cooper, tries to get inside. He's at the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Still with it, Somerville, trying to wrap his foot round a right-footed shot. Didn't really get the power he wanted. And in the end, Swansea clear over halfway, and it's retrieved by Joe Roden in the centre of his own half, the Leeds centre-back. Strike keeps the ball in play on the far side of the field, but his ball up to halfway was half intercepted by Jay Fulton. But Leeds did win it back, but only briefly, and Sam Byram then fouled his man, and Swansea get themselves a free kick. Swansea failed to win their first 7 games in the Championship under their new manager Michael Duff this season. Of course, Michael Duff took Barnsley all the way to the League One playoff final last year, only for Josh Windass to win it for Sheffield Wednesday. Now here's Jamie Patterson for the Swans, who scored that early goal. Finds Jamal Lowe inside the area, left-hand side. Jamal Lowe goes for goal, and it takes a deflection and goes out at the Revy end for a corner kick to the Swans, 1-1.
Yeah, he's looking to cut in on the right foot and bend it in that far corner. Just flicked off the top of Archie Gray's foot. Gone out harmlessly in the end. I mean, it's a really open game. Somerville causing all sorts of problems. Dan James causing problems at one end. But Swansea, you know, to be fair to them, playing quite well at the moment.
Jamie Patterson's finding some space at times that he's trying his best to exploit.
There's still this tendency to overplay at times.
Short corner for Swansea. It's down the right-hand corner of the box. It's whipped in to the near post, but headed out by Glenn Camera, who was the first defender, but it's allowed to go out of play by Josh Timon, pretty much bang on the halfway line. Ipswich take the lead against Millwall in that 8 o'clock kickoff. Connor Chaplin for Ipswich. And it's 1-1 here, with Leeds United looking to go back into third spot in the table. At the back is Ben Cabango for Swansea. They're wearing their all dark green away strip tonight, the Swans. Sort of British racing green, I think you would call that colour.
Oh, I thought it was blue. Might have to put my glasses on, Dance. It's not green.
Greeny blue. Ball's back with Cabango. Up to the halfway line. Patterson has to work it back to Cabango because there's plenty of white shirts buzzing around trying to win the ball back. Both sides have got a decent press on when they lose possession. But Cabango allowed to trot up to halfway. Feeds it into Patterson, who again has found a bit of space. Out to the right-hand side for Swansea, and Josh Key gives it back to Patterson. 2 waiting for a cross in the middle. Fulton's joining in down the right-hand side of the box. Gets to the byline, hits it against strike, and that's another corner to Swansea at 1-1.
Yeah, Swansea having plenty of the ball. No real team dictating at the moment. It's end to end, isn't it? You know, it's up and down. No one sort of controlling the game at the moment. Neither midfield getting on top.
Yeah, you're looking at Grimes and Fulton for Swansea, and Ampadu and Kamara for Leeds. None of those 4 players are really grabbing this game by the scruff of the neck. Leicester leaders Sheffield Wednesday, incidentally. The leaders in front to Abdul Fatawu at Hillsborough. Corner for Swansea, whipped in to the 6-yard line, well headed out to the edge of the area, volleyed back towards goal by Grimes. It was blocked right on the 18-yard line, but he kept his eye on it, and he's worked it back to Josh Timon. Diagonal ball up to the edge of the area, comfortable clearance downfield. Somerville giving chase, but Cabango will get there first, lobs it all the way back to Carl Rushworth. What a touch! It's like he's got carpet slippers on, Carl Rushworth, as he brought that down out the sky.
Oh, he's got
beautifully done.
He's got Velcro on his boots. What a touch! I mean, that was some confidence.
And he's got Somerville thundering in at him at 20-odd mile an hour.
It was a very high back pass from Cabango.
Yep.
It was looping up in the air. Somerville was racing towards him, and he just put his foot out, killed it absolutely dead.
He's on loan from Brighton, is Carl Rushworth. Now, Daniel James was very nearly played in behind time, and by a lovely searching pass threaded down the line by Archie Gray.
You can often tell that. I mean, Brighton have this fantastic reputation, don't they, of playing out from the back, and all their goalkeepers coming through. Beadle at Oxford is very, very similar. You know, very, very confident with the ball at his feet.
Christian Walton was another. I remember he went on to Wigan a couple of times.
Prepared to take a risk and do it that way. They're obviously brought up that way.
Here's Jorginho Rutter, right-hand corner of the area for Leeds United. Plays a 1-2 with James. Pulls it back from the byline. It's half cleared by Cabango. Comes back out to Gray on the right-hand side, but the ball into the near post. Deflects off a Swansea boot. And now Leeds have a corner at Ellen Road. 1-1 the score on Talksport 2.
Rutter gets into a really good position, down the inside right position, and he just lashed it across the goal. Touch more composure. Could have maybe looked to pick somebody out. He had time and space.
So a corner for Leeds United where the Norman Hunter meets the John Charles stand, just down to our right inside in front of the Swansea travelling support in the lower tier of that John Charles stand. James clips it in right-footed to the near post. Jamal Lowe heads it up in the air onto the edge of the 6-yard line. It's headed back out to James on this near side. At the edge of the area, clips across it. It's headed out this time by Fulton. Now Somerville takes over. Right-hand corner of the box for Leeds United. Works it left for Glenn Camera. Urged to shoot by 1 or 2 inside Ellen Road. Byron puts a cross into the box. Not many in front of goal there in a white Leeds shirt. And Swansea, well, they make a bit of a hash to the clearance, and Leeds have it back again with Somerville. Just flicks the ball forward to Glenn Camera. Gives it back to Somerville. Suddenly goes through the gears. Chips the ball into the box looking for Peru. Headed half clear by Humphreys. And then there's a foul on Fulton. And Swansea will finally be able to clear their lines as Arsenal take the lead against Lens. And Kai Havertz is on the mark again for Arsenal. Presumably he's not playing at left back tonight.
Well, who knows? Could be from a set piece.
Maybe.
Silly foul from there from Ampadu. It didn't need to make. Was never ever going to win the ball. Was always just going to jump into the back of the defender. Gives possession back to Swansea.
Well, possession given back to Leeds by Bashir Humphreys, but Jamal Lowe takes the ball off the toe of Archie Gray, and Jamie Patterson moves into the left-hand side of the Leeds half. Look for Jamal Lowe with the ball down the left-hand side of the box, but it was just hit too firmly by Patterson, and Lowe couldn't collect it, and it goes behind for a Leeds goal kick. It's 1-1 on Talksport 2 here in the Championship between Leeds and Swansea.
Just goes to show if you put people under pressure, they will make mistakes. Not being disrespectful, but, you know, these are not Premier League players playing at Manchester City.
No.
You know, that actually they're not Barcelona players back in the day where you put them under pressure, makes no difference whatsoever. You put a lot of these players under pressure, they will make a mistake at some point.
1-1 here. Huddersfield lead at Sunderland in the Championship. Michael Hellick for Darren Moore's side, who've got no win in 5. But they lead at the Stadium of Light. And Real Madrid 1-1 with Napoli. Napoli went ahead through Giovanni Simeone, son of Diego, but Rodrigo's equalised for Real Madrid in Spain. Here in West Yorkshire, 1-1 between Leeds United and Swansea City. Fulton inside the centre circle for the Swans. Forced to go back 10 yards or so to Bashir Humphreys. Gets his head up, thought about playing a long ball downfield, but Fulton's just dropped back 5 yards or so to help him out. And back it goes to the goalkeeper, Carl Rushworth. Now Peru looking to close down Fulton, but very calmly plays it into the feet of Ollie Cooper. And even though Michael Duff is in charge, there's still very much that desire to play the ball out the back, which is not something that his Barnsley team was known for. Here's Patterson, who scored that very, very early goal for Swansea. Down the right-hand side, hits the ball against Joe Roden, who prevents the corner, but has given away a throw-in to Swansea as Ipswich double their lead against Millwall. Massimo Luongo makes it Ipswich 2, Millwall 0 at Portman Road. We've played 28 minutes here, which have flown by at Ellen Road on Talksport 2.
Even more important then for Leeds to get a result this evening, to make sure they don't drop further behind the likes of Ipswich.
Yep. As I said, the gap 7 points between Leeds and Ipswich at the start of the night.
Yeah, so that takes it to 9, won't it, if it stays as it is?
Yeah.
suddenly you start to get to 10-point gap and you're thinking that's tough to make up.
More live Championship football Saturday lunchtime. What a game as well at the Hawthorns from midday. West Bromwich Albion against Leicester City. West Brom were very good last night in beating Cardiff. Here comes Swansea at 1-1 down the left-hand side of the area with Jamal Lowe up against Archie Gray. Hits it against Gray and it actually comes back off Lowe and behind for a Leeds United goal kick. Stays 1-1. So as I was saying, West Brom Leicester is part of game day on Saturday lunchtime. That's a noon start. We've also got that on Talksport, should I say, West Brom Leicester. On Talksport 2, it's Alfreton Town against Walsall in the FA Cup second round. And our live Premier League offerings on Saturday, we've got Burnley against Sheffield United from Turf Moor at 3 o'clock here on Talksport 2. And Newcastle United against Manchester United is a Saturday night kick-off. Our coverage starts at 7:30 on Talksport after the phone-in. And we've also got England's women in Nations League action on Friday against the Netherlands. Serena Wiegman up against her own country. And tomorrow night we've got a bit of Europa League action back at Topola.
She's English.
Against West Ham. Yeah, of course she is, yes. Back at Topola against West Ham United from 5 o'clock tomorrow in the Europa League.
Her country's England now, Dance. Come on.
Well, you say that.
Yes.
Anyway, it's 1-1 here. And Swansea trying to win the ball on halfway. Yates can't get there. Strike gets in just ahead of Patterson. And now Peru slides the ball to the right-hand corner of the penalty area, and Daniel James steps inside on his left and goes for goal, but that's a comfortable save low down for Carl Rushworth. 1-1.
Decent strike from James, but a little bit of a swinger, wasn't it? Never really caught it sweetly. In the end, straight in the middle of the goal. Very, very comfortable save for the goalkeeper. But still very, very open. No team really getting on top in terms of controlling the game.
That's Danny Mills, former Leeds defender. You can hear alongside me Ian Danter here at Ellen Road, where we played half an hour. 1-1 the score. Grimes for Swansea City, whose opposite number Glenn Camera closing him down. He has to lay it back to Bashir Humphreys, who can get his head up and play a short pass into Grimes just inside his own half. Then a square ball to the left for Timon, but he has to work it back again to Grimes. Gives it to his keeper Rushworth. First time pass out to Cabango, but Cabango's got his old teammate Peru watching him, so he fires the ball back to Rushworth, who again collected it well. Slightly screws the clearance out to this near side, but James just presented a header straight back to Timon.
There's an awful lot of passing for passing's sake at times, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, it's trying to copy the Man City model, but what they do, they suck you out. They suck you onto it.
Yeah.
They want you to come and close them down, because then they'll just pick you off. Sometimes look at this sort of level and below this, and it's just passing the ball with no real purpose. It's just, let's just pass it backwards, just so we can keep the ball.
And they have the ball, Swansea, in the centre circle with Josh Timon just coming in from left back. Skips away from Rutter for a moment and plays the ball out to the right-hand side, and Josh Key. There's 3 waiting for a cross. 4 now as Cooper goes in there, but Key is going to go for goal himself, and his left-footed shot is not that far over the crossbar, and it ends up being a goal kick to Leeds United. But Josh Key just fancied a cracking goal there, cutting on his weaker left foot. 1-1.
Well, that's a right back with a left-footed shot. Again, never really caught hold of it, did he? It's sort of a little bit timid, I would say. Didn't strike it particularly cleanly and just drifted over the crossbar.
Spent 6 years at Exeter before moving to Swansea in July. Josh Key, all kept in play by Joe Roden. Michael Duff is convinced it was right next to the Swansea manager.
I was convinced from up here it was out of play. But Michael Duff was about an inch away.
Yeah, he could not have been closer, but as far as
he controlled it.
He practically did. He was almost challenging Joe Roden for the ball. We have seen a manager do that this season and get booked. Who was it now? It was, I think it was Mickey Mellon when he was... not Mickey Mellon.
Mourinho did it, didn't he, in a charity game?
Mourinho did it. Keith Millen, that's it, when he was temporarily in charge of Gillingham. He tripped a Walsall player up.
Didn't Mourinho take out one of JLS or something like that?
Yeah, he did. Leeds 1, Swansea 1 on Talksport 2, 12 to half-time. Leeds in possession with their man most likely, Crescencio Somerville. Down the left-hand side of the box, Byram tries to pull it back, and Fulton defends it really well, actually, prevents the cross coming in and ends up winning a goal kick for his team as the battle for midfield superiority continues here at Ellen Road. 1-1.
Yeah, and because of that, we haven't really seen too many goal-mouth incidents. Not what I would call proper saves. There's been a couple of long shots from Leeds that have been... You could have saved them dance, straight at the goalkeeper.
Well, let's not go mad.
Well, no, you could have done. Very, very easy. It's not been any really glorious chances, is there?
Apart from the two that were
apart from the first
sensationally taken. Yeah.
Apart from the first 5 minutes.
Now, Ampadu has the ball for Leeds, tries to fire it through, but again, Jay Fulton's there, sliding in with the challenge, and Swansea bring the ball clear. Patterson tries to release Jerry Yates down the left-hand side, but Roden smartly onto the ball first, and then Leeds win the throw as Gray sees the ball put out of play for a throw by Jamie Patterson. Arsenal have doubled their lead against Lens in the Champions League. They're already through, but Gabriel Jesus has made it 2-0 at the Emirates Stadium. 1-1 here in West Yorkshire with just over 10 minutes to half-time on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Rutter, who's fired the ball across looking for Somerville, still inside his own half, and he's got Josh Key at his back. He's got to move further back into his own half and give the ball back to Pascal Strike. Camera back for Somerville once more, tight to the far touchline, moves over the halfway line. Key's going with him, backpedaling, and then suddenly Somerville went through the gears, got past Key, but then across came Ollie Cooper to put it out for a Leeds throw. Yeah,
they're starting to double up on Somerville now. I think they've realised that he was a danger. Probably should have realised that before they started. I'm sure they've seen enough of him on video and whatever they've been watching this season. But he's free again.
Down the left-hand side of the area from the throw in Somerville. Has he kept the ball in play? No, he hasn't. It's gone out for a goal kick, says the referee. Meanwhile, Real Madrid have turned it around. They are 2-1 up on Napoli, and it's Jude Bellingham yet again for Real Madrid.
He's in sensational form, isn't he? Absolutely incredible.
Now do you understand why we retired the shirt?
No.
I knew you'd say no to that. Bashir Humphries.
I tell you what, there's been some proper legends at this football club, and not a single shirt has been retired.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? There's people with statues and all sorts here.
There's 3 stands, all named after Leeds legend. The Jack Charlton stand is opposite us.
It's World Cup winners that have played here.
The Norman Hunter to our right, and we're in the John Charles main stand.
I mean, one of the greatest players ever to have lived. His shirt wasn't retired.
I take your point.
Retired, what was it, a 16-year-old shirt you retired?
Yes.
17.
16, 17.
Have a word with
close enough for Jazz. Anyway, he's only vacated it so he can have it back when he comes back to the club.
It's a number.
Ball's headed back by Cabango to Carl Rushworth, the Swansea goalkeeper. 9 minutes to go. I'm getting bullied by Danny Mills.
No, yeah, bullied. It's a number.
I know. But it's a good headline. It was a good headline.
Retiring a shirt.
I think I've touched a nerve.
No, I just find it cringeworthy.
Just because they didn't retire yours. Ball's back with Cabango. Plays it into midfield for Jamie Patterson. First time ball decent. Round the corner for Ollie Cooper. And he tries to set Josh Key away. Keeps it in play. On the far side for Swansea. Moves into the Leeds half. Cooper's gone on his outside. Takes it up now. 3 waiting for a cross in Swansea colours. It's gone back, though, into midfield. And Josh Key, the impetus of that move has suddenly slowed down. And then Grimes rides a challenge or two. Leeds fans getting a little tetchy. Getting a little impatient as Swansea have it again with Jamal Lowe out on this near side. Clips it in field and gets it back at the edge of the area. Looks for Jerry Yates. He's back to goal. He can't bring the ball down into control and get the shot away. He was being well marshalled by Strike in the end. And then Rutter can't control the ball on halfway. And it's out for a Swansea throw. It's 1-1 here, Danny Mills.
Yeah, it's still very, very open. Neither midfield on top, and that's what it's all about in the modern game. Is if you control the midfield, you generally control the game. And at the moment, neither team are controlling that. It's about players getting into wide areas and causing problems.
Joe Roden up to halfway from Leeds, but tried to set Rutter away down the right-hand side, and Rutter got nowhere near it and then just pushed Bashir Humphries to the ground.
Yeah, so he gave that away because he's got his socks over his knees as well.
Yeah.
Another bugbear of mine.
Luke O'Nien has equalised for Sunderland at home to Huddersfield Town. That's 1-1 at the Stadium of Night. And a third for Arsenal in the Champions League. Bukayo Saka makes it Arsenal 3, Lens 0. Updates over on Talksport with Adrian Durham. Here on Talksport 2, we're concentrating on what's been a very watchable Championship game. 1-1 between Leeds and Swansea. Somerville brought down by the left-hand corner of the penalty area by a combination of Josh Key and Ben Cabango, and the referee says that's a free kick and a danger
I think
for Swansea.
The referee's got the problem there. I'm not sure who makes the foul. It's both of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't book both of them for it.
No. Cabango started it. Let's put
it probably was a bookable challenge. Cabango sort of trips him a little bit and then gets finished off by Key. So it's a tricky one, that, I think, for the referee.
So it's a free kick for Leeds United, and Somerville, of course, will be favourite to take it.
He'll be shooting it.
Well, it's at the left-hand corner of the penalty area, only a couple of yards away from that. He will get some whip on this for sure, Crescencio Somerville.
He'll be looking to drive this in at the far post, round about head height. If someone gets a touch on it, brilliant. If they don't, it could just nest in the back of the net.
Swansea defenders trying to hold their line around the penalty spot. Leeds trying to stay onside. Somerville addresses the ball, clips it to the far post, and it's volleyed away by Jay Fulton out to the edge of the area, and Rutter couldn't bring it down under his spell. And again, Swansea were just able to hoof it clear downfield, and Archie Gray has to go and retrieve. 1-1 it stays on Talksport 2.
It's a poor free kick at the end. Just didn't do what I thought he was going to do, and just sort of floated it into the area. Nobody really attacked it. It was an easy clearance in the end.
Yes, I was certainly waiting for a lot more pace on that.
Yeah.
From Somerville. Wasn't to be. So into the last 5 minutes of the first half.
That's when you needed Ian Hart on the ball on that far side. He'd have whipped it in.
Yes,
right foot or left foot.
Seem to remember you scoring a decent free kick or two in your time. Wasn't there one at Villa Park for Charlton?
Well, yeah, they were more smashes rather than cultured.
Yeah, but that's the point. You put your foot through it. Danny Mills alongside me, Ian Danter here at Ellen Road.
Ian Hart was one of the best free kick takers I've ever seen. I know a lot of people go on about Ward-Prowse in this day and age, but if you go back and look at what Ian Hart did all the way through the leagues, internationally as well, left foot and right foot, by the way.
That's true. He was genuinely two-footed, wasn't he?
He was sensational. There was one, I think it might have been pre-season, he scored a hat-trick of free kicks.
Wow.
Just sensational.
Arsenal 4, Lens 0 now. Gabriel Martinelli getting in on the act.
Off at half-time, that one.
Yep. They may well declare.
Yeah,
Arsenal.
Go get a shower. Game done. Make 5 substitutions.
Swansea getting away down the right-hand side. Josh Key being sort of handled there by Glenn Kamara, but a throw's been given. Taken quickly by Key. Fulton out on the far side for Swansea. Works it infield to Grimes, the captain. Loses out to Somerville, and Somerville will try and get Leeds going on the counter-attack here. Grimes trying to hold him back. Referee waves play on as Somerville wriggles away from Grimes. Gives it to the left-hand side, and Joel Peru up to the edge of the area, trying to get the ball away for a shot. But it's blocked away, half cleared by Swansea, and James goes out to the left-hand side for the moment for Leeds to retrieve it. Now, Glenn,
there's a lot of exciting stuff, Dance, isn't there? Up to the 18-yard box. And then it's just that final ball hasn't been quite right from both teams so far.
Well, let's see what happens with this ball that may be sent in from Sam Barham, who swapped flanks for a moment, playing on the right-hand side for a time. Ampadu works the ball infield to strike, just ahead of the centre circle. Daniel James waits on the far left-hand side. Gets to the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Still with the ball at his feet. Gives it back to striker. Now Camera at the left-hand corner of the area. He finds Somerville at the edge of the box. Urged to shoot. Makes room for the shot. Deflected over the bar. I think it was Jay Fulton yet again who got the vital footing for Swansea to stop that going on target. But it is a Leeds United corner at 1-1.
Again, didn't really catch hold of it. Allowed the sliding challenge to come in. I mean, he's causing all sorts of problems. He's maybe just got to do it a fraction sharper. Because they know what he's going to do. They know he wants to come in on that right-hand side, off on that right foot.
So Somerville to take the corner at that Norman Hunter end of the ground. Right-footed out-swinger. Flicked on at the near post by Jamal Lowe trying to get it clear. And Swansea do get it clear. And Lowe will have it back and will try and launch a counter-attack here. He gets up to the halfway line, right on this near touch line. Patterson showing for him further down the line here, but Lowe's kept hold of the ball. Now leaves it for Patterson. And back comes Archie Gray. 17 years young to thump it out of play for a throw-in. And Patterson's going to leave the throw for Josh Timon to take, the former Stoke City man. Timon looking up for an option, midway point of the half, left-hand side, gives it to Humphreys. Humphreys tried to play the ball in field, and he's lost out. Leeds have it back. Rutter's got camera, making a run through the middle. He's found him, has he? No, he's just overhit the pass, and back came Josh Key with a vital interception. Jorginho Rutter suddenly presented with the ball over the halfway line on the right-hand side, and Glenn Camera had made a sensational run through the middle, but Rutter couldn't find him. 1-1.
Rutter hesitated. I must have said pass it 3 times before he did. It was so obvious. Just roll the ball in front and let him run onto it. He waited and waited and waited, and that allowed the defender to get back.
But it is another corner to Leeds United late in the first half, again at the Norman Hunter end, and again it will be a right-footed outswinger, this time from Daniel James on this near side. Deep to the far post, Strike heads it straight at the goalkeeper, who gratefully clutches it to his chest. Good connection on the header from Strike, but straight to the goalkeeper, and it remains 1 apiece.
That was a much better corner. I think for the first time he's missed out the first man. Up until that point, every corner that Dan James has put in from this side, first touch has gone to Swansea.
So 1-1 as we approach stoppage time. We're about to find out from our fourth official, Martin Stephen, how much...
2?
Yeah, I would say 2's about right. We've had that injury to Somerville, which is at least 2 minutes. Daniel James spins on the ball in this near touchdown. 3 minutes in actual fact that we're into now has been added on by Sam Allison. Ball clipped down the right-hand side of the box for Leeds, but Archie Gray is offside. Yep.
So this refereeing lark's easy dance, isn't it? Not hard.
Well, they are trying to encourage ex-players to have a go. No. The look that Danny Mills has just thrown me suggests that that's not in his...
I've looked at the wages. No,
can't afford the wage cut. I see.
Exactly. I'd rather sit with you, Dan.
Good man.
I'd rather sit with you for nothing.
Oh no!
For a cup of tea and a packet of crisps.
Let's not go mad. Half time at the Stadium of Light. It is
far more enjoyable.
Well, that's as maybe. Sunderland 1, Huddersfield 1 is the half time score. Not many goals around in the Championship tonight, although 1-1 there. Ipswich 2-0 up on Millwall, and Leicester 1-0 up at Sheffield Wednesday. No goals at Blackburn or Southampton. The other 2 games tonight. Throw in on the right hand side rather for Swansea. Josh Key goes and picks a ball up off one of the cones for the multi-ball system. Benfica 3-0 up on Inter in the Champions League. João Mario gets Benfica's third. Strong throw down the right hand side from Key, but Leeds win it back. Camera, great scrape to get away from 2 challenges, and he was fouled, but the referee says play on because Archie Gray's picked it up in space on this near side, gets over halfway, plays into the feet of Daniel James. He lays it off to Ethan Ampadu, and a square ball for Pascal Strike to run onto. Immediately looks for Crescencio Somerville out on the left hand side. Cooper's the first man to get past. He's got past him but couldn't get past Josh Key, and again Swansea look early for Jerry Yates, but he's not had much to work with so far tonight, Jerry Yates, and Joe Rodham comfortably deals with that latest ball over the top.
He's hardly touched the ball, has he, Yates?
That's very true.
To be fair, Patterson hasn't touched it an awful lot either, apart from that sensational finish.
Now ball over the top, trying to get Jorginho Rutter in behind. Oh, what a first touch from Rutter, and he fires it past Rushworth, and Leeds are in front right on half-time. A ball over the top, and the first touch from Jorginho Rutter in behind Bashir Humphreys was quite sensational. Brought it under his spell, had the strength to hold off Humphreys, and then slot it past Rushworth into the net, and Leeds lead right on the whistle for half-time. Leeds United 2, Swansea City 1.
Oh, great finish, really good touch. Just a hopeful ball up and under, over the top. Didn't really think anything was going to come of it. It's just punted straight down the middle of the pitch. I have to say, Humphreys is in all sorts of a bad position. Young, naive defending, I would say that is, with a few seconds to go. He gets the wrong side, and then he doesn't know what to do. And because he's directly behind the player, he can't make a tackle. Rutter's strong, holds him off, and then slots it home.
Brilliant finish from Jorginho Rutter. With the first touch, the ball came over his left shoulder from Ampadu's Straight ball down the middle.
Very shocking defending, Dan.
Yeah, but the first touch is fantastic.
It's a brilliant touch. But because he's in the wrong position, and then instead of running to the side of him, he runs directly behind him. He knows he can't touch him. Because any touch, he's going down. It's either a red card, penalty, whatever it might be.
Denying a clear goal scoring opportunity was definitely in Bashir Humphrey's mind.
That's naive defending.
Yeah. So 2-1 to Leeds in the game that's seen goals bookend this first half.
We might have another one now. Oh no.
Well, we have a half-time whistle. That's what we have. And the first 45 minutes come to an end. 3 goals, 2 of them right at the start of the game. Indeed, we thought we had a goal inside 40 seconds when Daniel James fired the ball into the net from Rutter's cross early on, but it was ruled out for offside against the Welshman. And then the Welsh side promptly went ahead 20 seconds later as Strike's header was too weak, intended for his goalkeeper. Jamie Patterson stole in, and a delightful half volley clipped over Meslier and in at the Revienne for 1-0. But within 4 minutes of that, Joel Piroux, the former Swansea man, scored against his former club. Lovely forward play against Somerville involved to set up Piroux, and he finished really tidily past the goalkeeper Rushworth for 1-1. Then it was a lot of nip and tuck between the two sides, neither side particularly dominant, but then, as you just heard there, right at the end of the half, Ampadu straight ball down the field. Rutter held off Humphreys, ran through the centre of the field and slotted it neatly past Carl Rushworth for the half-time score, Danny Mills, of Leeds United 2, Swansea City 1.
Incredible frantic start to the game. So exciting, end to end, all the way through. Leeds have probably just shaded it. Somerville being the key man. Dan James had 1 or 2 opportunities as well, although they haven't really created too many clear-cut chances. Been a lot of energy, a lot of pace down the outside. Final ball's been lacking at times. Leeds just about on top, but no one has really won that midfield battle yet. No one's really controlling the game, so still could be very, very open in the second half.
So what does Michael Duff say to his players? Because they've not been overawed by the occasion. A team like Leeds can play into an opposition's hands sometimes.
If I was in that dressing room now, if I was coach, if I was captain, I'd say, right, a little bit more composure, lads. You know, we're as good as these. We can match them. We've proven that. Keep up the press. They will make mistakes. We've seen that. They're not maybe as good as we thought they were. Okay, you know, they're up there in the league. They're doing well. But there's nothing to be scared of. We can get at these. Just have a little bit more care when we've got the ball in the final third. Don't just hit it into spaces, hit people's feet. And if we keep doing that, keep working hard, we'll create opportunities.
Well, stick with us for the second half, because the first half we just brought you has been riotously entertaining. And Leeds, as it stands, have come from behind and will be heading back third in the Championship table if things stay as they are. At the break here on Talksport 2, with the second half to come, it is Leeds United 2, Swansea City 1.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the English Football League.
Hi, I'm Danny Dyer, and welcome to What's That Smell? Ugh, smoky with a hint of burgers. It's my barbecue apron. Luckily, I can make this smell like freshly picked lilies. Just pop it in the washing machine, add some Surf Tropical Lily laundry detergent, and... oh, my fave. It smells like my dream holiday. Get long-lasting fragrance with natural essential oils with Surf laundry detergent. You can make anything perf with Surf.
Hello! This Citroen ad will not be Christmassy at all. It's all about our £500 test drive and buy offer. Test drive any car from the Citroen range, including the award-winning electric C4, and get an extra £500 off when you buy. No sleigh bells, no Santas, just a great offer on top of all the other great Citroen offers. It's available now, so there's snow time. Sorry, I mean no time, like the present. Offer excludes AMI, participating retailers only. T's and C's and exclusions apply. Ends 13th of December 23. Search Citroen Test Drive.
You could hit the slopes without an instructor, or you could have a go at cutting your own hair. Oh. Heck, why not? You should rewire the house. At ATS Euromaster, we think there are times when things are better left to the experts. Things like vehicle maintenance and getting yours through the winter. Pick up a set of Michelin Cross-Climate 2 tyres and drive with confidence, whatever the weather. ATS Euromaster, you're in good hands.
Okay, team, let's pull this deck together.
Yes, please. I'm 20 minutes from the client.
Will, where's the strategy slide?
In the chat now.
Okay, Charlie, presentation on its way.
Yeah, got it. Wish me luck.
We can all relax now.
Speak for yourself, Will.
Work together anywhere. Get more from Microsoft Teams with BT, powered by EE, the UK's best network. BT and EE, better for business. Best for network performance, visit ee.co.uk/claims for more details. Restrictions and terms apply.
Welcome back to... Harry's the Answer! Which supermarket is both which cheapest supermarket 2022 and Good Housekeeping Reader's favourite supermarket 2023? Spoiler alert, it ain't Asda. Yes, Aldi's the answer! Shop at Aldi and see if you could save your family fortunes.
That'll be my Amazon delivery.
That's how you respond! Magnificent goal! 3 and finish!
This Christmas, Santa isn't the only one bringing you presents. Amazon delivers the Premier League with 10 live matches from the 5th of December. Only on Prime.
Talksport Podcast League. Outspoken. The best of White and Jordan.
White versus Jordan. Now with added time.
Simon and I have a different sort of opinion on this, as we do on various things.
When the mics go live, the gloves come off.
That wasn't a proper fight. That was a tune-up.
Oh, no. Come on. Opinionated debate as combat sport.
And most of these teams have underachieved.
Outspoken.
Listen or download for free on the Talksport app.
My goodness, who could argue?
On your phone, on your smart speaker.
Or from your favourite podcast portal.
Fisherman's Blues with Nigel Bothaway this Sunday morning from 6 on Talksport 2.
Welly boots are a preference for the habitual voyeur of what is known as...
It's a bit dicey.
Pond life.
A soggy bum can be avoided if you take a bivvy when you do what is known as...
Happy days indeed.
Pond life.
Got a flask of tea and a big pack of my favourite fish paste sandwiches. Oh, I love a bit of it.
Incredible.
Pond life.
Look at that brown trout biting. You should tighten up your slack line, mate. Use a better fly. Oh, the anglers.
I like this a lot.
So many anglers. They all go rod in hand through their pond life.
Got worms. Yes, but I'm still going fishing. Fisherman's Blues with me, Nigel Bothaway, this Sunday morning from 6 on Talksport 2.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Crescencio Somerville is racing Rutter down the left-hand side of the area for Leeds, who drives it across, and Daniel James has given Leeds the lead inside 40 seconds, but the flag goes up for offside to deny Daniel James and Leeds a sensational start. It is still 0-0.
I'd like to see that again. A fantastic move down the left-hand side.
Oh, and now a poor header back allows Swansea to get in, and the ball's in the back of the net. What a finish from Jamie Patterson. He's lobbed the keeper, and within a few seconds of Leeds thinking they got ahead only for the offside flag to deny them. A poor defensive header at the back for Leeds, I think from Pascal Strike, seized upon by Jamie Patterson, who clipped the ball on the half volley over the despairing Ilan Meslier. It dropped into the Revienne. What a sensational opening minute on Talksport 2. Swansea have the lead.
This has to be the craziest first minute of football I think I've ever seen.
Somerville, who's bursting through the inside left position, sends it in for Peru. It's 1-1. The law of the X strikes, and John Peru, who left Swansea for Leeds in the summer, scores against his old club. All over the top, trying to get Jorginho Rutter behind. Oh, what a first touch from Rutter, and he fires it past Rushworth, and Leeds are in front right on half-time. That is the scoreline here at Ellen Road, with myself, Ian Danter, and Danny Mills preparing to bring you full second half commentary. Leeds United 2, Swansea City 1. Elsewhere in the Championship, half-time scores: Blackburn Rovers 0, Birmingham City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, the leaders Leicester 1, Southampton 0, Bristol City 0 as a half-time score, Sunderland 1, Huddersfield 1, and still playing in the first half at Portman Road, Ipswich have just scored a third against Millwall. Nathan Broadhead has that third goal for Ipswich Town. So the top two are both winning, which kind of increases Leeds' need to get the 3 points here to make sure that they don't lose their gap with 7 points between them and Ipswich Town at the start of the night. In the Champions League, it finished Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3. Earlier on Talksport 2, a thrilling game, but it could be all over for Manchester United tonight if Bayern Munich lose at home to Copenhagen in the 8 o'clock kickoff. That's reached half-time and it's goalless in Munich. In Group B, Sevilla 2, PSV 3 earlier today. PSV coming from behind to win that. And Arsenal 4-0 up against Lens, approaching half-time at the Emirates. In Group C, Braga 0, Union Berlin 1, and Real Madrid 2, Napoli 1. And Group D, Benfica 3, Inter Milan 0, and Real Sociedad 0, Salzburg 0. So you're up to date with all the goals that we have for you around the EFL and the Champions League tonight. Now, I mentioned that 3-3 draw earlier on Talksport 2. It was an absolute cracker. Galatasaray hosted Manchester United in the Champions League with Erik ten Hag's side desperate for a win as the rain poured down in Istanbul. Here's how it all played out.
The penultimate game in Manchester United's Champions League group campaign, and it's one that they have to win. Now Garnacho, left-hand side of the area, thrashes it into the roof of the net. What a week he is having. Bruno Fernandes tries his luck. Oh! What an extraordinary goal from Bruno Fernandes. 22 yards out. He's got it through the wall and in. And Galatasaray are back in the game. Hakim Ziyech with what looked like a relatively routine free kick. Here's Wan-Bissaka, right-hand side of the area.
Oh, yes.
Squeezed in at the near post. And Manchester United lead by 3 goals to 1. Scott McTominay making the run. And he slid in and diverted it in past Muslera. Hits it in, left-footed wall with pace. Oh, straight through Onana. Another free kick from Hakim Ziyech.
Another soft goal conceded.
But they're on the front foot again. Here Galatasaray. It's a
no.
stunning goal. Actacolo. And he's 3-3. And yet again, Manchester United have blown a 2-goal lead in this Champions League group. The full-time whistle goes with the side sharing 6 goals. Throwing away advantages has been an enduring feature of this Champions League campaign, and Manchester United know they need a miracle to make it through from here. It's finished. Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3.
Somebody check on Andy Goldstein. So the boys on the sports bar will take your calls, Manchester United fans. From 10 o'clock tonight, the sports bar open for business. Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy will take your calls on all of tonight's action, but that result leaving Manchester United's qualification hopes in a very dicey position will surely take centre stage with the calls tonight. Liverpool are back in Europa League action tomorrow evening as Lask come to Anfield looking to pull off a shocking Group E. Head of the game, the Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp has reiterated his desire for the club to win this competition this season.
We as a team, we 100% arrived in this competition, and we from the firm already last season when we realized we will qualify for the European League. We were really happy about that, and that's what I want us to do. That we really don't go in a game like this, and if you play a bad pass or whatever, then the atmosphere is not there. So we need to make a special night of it, because it is a difficult game. The opponent is not here as a chance themselves not to qualify tomorrow night, but to qualify in general for the next round, and that would be massive for Linz. I know that. And we have to make sure that we really show as a package, Liverpool package, that is a wonderful place to come, but a horrible place to come as well in the same moment.
That's Jurgen Klopp, who welcome Lask to Anfield tomorrow night in the Europa League. We have a Europa League commentary at 5:45 on Talksport 2. Baka Topola taking on West Ham United. Alex Crook will be your commentator for that one. That's live here on Talksport 2. And once we get into December, a lot of live sport on Talksport 2. We've just secured the rights for England's limited over tour of the West Indies. The ODIs and the T20s will be live on Talksport 2. Say again, Danny?
Are we going, Dance?
Well, unfortunately,
have we been invited?
No, we haven't been invited. I'm sorry, Danny. Didn't you get the memo? No, clearly not.
No.
So, England seeking to bounce back from that dreadful World Cup, defending their T20 crown next year in the West Indies. So 5 T20s and the ODIs against the Windies starting this coming Sunday, the 3rd of December at 12:30 in the afternoon, live on Talksport 2. And as well as that, in December, we'll be off to Alexandra Palace for the World Championship darts that starts on the 15th of December. By the 3rd of January, we'll have our first world champion in sport for 2024. Will it be Michael Smith retaining his title? Luke Humphries has just won 3 of the last 4 major tournaments. Michael van Gerwen, desperate to regain his crown. It'll all play out on the home of darts on the radio, Talksport 2, from the 15th of December. Now, Danny Mills has brought me an eclectic mix of half-time.
I tell you what, it's the strangest selection of press food I think I've ever seen. So
we should set the scene, because you go to somewhere like Chelsea and
it's sushi.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's like
Man City's very, very similar.
The press are looked after.
So I thought, what choices was pie and peas.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
Yes.
Or a tuna salady type thing.
That's right.
And then next to that, a pot noodle, some porridge.
Yeah.
Bags of crisps, bars of chocolate, cookies. Tea out of an urn. And then an espresso coffee machine. Very, very, very strange and random.
I suppose you do get all your food groups in with that, don't you?
You do.
Somehow.
Not too many of your 5 a day in there.
No. Incidentally, Arsenal got a 5th right on half-time against Lens in the Champions League.
Call it off.
Call it off. Give the rest of them the night off. Martin Odegaard making it 5-0.
And he should do, though, in all honesty, Dan.
Yeah.
They had a lot of injury problems.
Yes.
With Odegaard and Saka and all
easy.
that. Just take them all off.
Yeah.
Why bother even sending them out for the second half?
So that's 5-0. 3-0 at half-time to Ipswich. And that makes Leeds focus their minds here at Ellen Road, with both sets of players out for the start of the second half here in the Championship. Leeds have got to keep pace with Ipswich and Leicester above them, who are both winning at half-time in their games. And Blackburn have just taken the lead against Birmingham City early in the second half. Sammy Smodic's on the mark yet again. A man rejuvenated at Blackburn this season under John Dahl Thomason. Blackburn won Birmingham 0 at Ewood Park. But we're back underway here at Ellen Road. Leeds in all white are heading for their beloved Revy End, as they love to do in the second half. Away to our left-hand side, the Revy End. Swansea in their dark change strip of greeny blue are heading for the Norman Hunter end to our right-hand side. And the deadlock broken at St Mary's as well. Kyle Walker-Peters has given Southampton an early second-half lead against Bristol City. But 2-1 here to Leeds. That second goal coming right on half-time from Jorginho Rutter. It's Meslier in goal for Leeds. Gray, Rodent, Strike and Byram in a back 4. Ampadu, Camara, James, Peru, Somerville and Rutter. And then for Swansea, Rushworth, the goalkeeper, along with Key, Cabango, Humphreys and Timon in their back 4. Fulton and Grimes holding, and then Cooper, Patterson, Lowe and Yates in attack. And
Dan, so I know I'm old, miserable, cantankerous, but Jorginho Rutter's got his hands up his sleeves.
Well, I see.
Just wear gloves.
Well, what I remember when I first started going to watch Birmingham when I was 5 or 6, we had the former chief executive of the PFA, Gordon Taylor, was playing for us, and he used to. That's one of the first things I remember. He used to hold the cuffs of his sleeves.
That was 1907.
Well, 1974, but yeah.
But I mean, it's not a good look, is it?
No. And there's the short sleeve with gloves, which has been favoured by Crescencio Somerville.
I don't mind, because
but apparently there's a science behind that.
Well, yeah, because when was the last time your forearm got cold?
Yeah,
you've never complained of a cold forearm, have you?
No.
It's either your body or your shoulders, whatever, or your hands. I get that. That's not a problem. I just think hands up your sleeves just looks a bit like you don't really want to be out there.
Leeds have a throw inside the Swansea half, just on this near side, the left, as Danny Mills and I sit about halfway back in the John Charles main stand. Lovely turn from Rutter. Threads the ball up to Joel Peru, holds it up, gives it back to Rutter, up to the edge of the area, goes down under pressure from Humphreys, and a free kick right on the edge of the box for Leeds United. And Humphreys again got wrong side of Rutter and forced him to the ground, and Sam Allison gave the free kick to Leeds.
It's the slides of his nudges, but Tom Daly would have been proud of that. The way he throws himself to the ground. I mean, the ref buys it. I think it's a It's a poor decision, if I'm honest. Slight contact, but such over-exaggeration of the dive.
So this free kick is just to the left of the D and almost right at the edge of the penalty area. And Ollie Cooper is the draft excluder for Swansea.
What's the point?
Lying, I knew you were going to say that. Lying just behind.
When was the last time you saw a free kick go under the wall?
Kevin De Bruyne about 18 months ago,
right,
I think.
Okay.
But you have to say 18 months ago. So Somerville is standing over it. Peru is there too. But Somerville, having floated a free kick in the first half from a slightly wider angle, is almost certainly going to try and test Carl Rushworth here at the Revy end. Free kick now coming in. Is it Peru actually? Peru goes for it. Hits it straight against the wall. Comes out to Somerville. Lays it back to Peru. Goes for goal. And it deflects comfortably into the path of the goalkeeper, Carl Rushworth. And the danger passes for Swansea City. 2-1 Leeds. And then they've given the ball away with a rollout from Rushworth. And they got lucky there, Swansea. And they've given it away again. Rutter looks for Somerville. Passes straight to Cabango, who flicks it clear for Swansea. And the South Wales side are living on their nerves at the back at the moment. Some dreadful defending, but they survive. And it's flicked downfield by Matt Grimes. Ollie Cooper can't bring the ball down. Yates gives chase. And he puts the ball out of play as he tried to rob the ball off Joe Roden. It's Leeds 2, Swansea 1.
Cooper got the same thing, his hands up his sleeves.
Yes.
And I tell you why I don't like it, because you lose a bit of balance. And I'm serious with that. You know, if you're running around with clenched fists, you're not fully balanced in that. And Rutter's done it a couple of times where he just looks a bit awkward as he's turned. It's not natural to have your hands in that position, you know, when you're trying to move and stop and twist and turn.
Leeds 2, Swansea 1. 5 minutes gone in the second half here at Ellen Road on Talksport 2. Bashir Humphreys works the ball back to the Swansea keeper, Carl Rushworth, who fires it left-footed down into the centre circle, but a good cushion header from Joe Roden. Fulton fouls Glenn Camera, and that's a free kick to Leeds United that Camera dummies to take quickly at least twice, and then he leaves it for Ethan Ampadu. Now Roden. 2 Welshmen out there. In fact, there's 3 out there for Leeds against the Welsh club tonight. Archie Gray giving the ball back to Ampadu, tight to the far touchline. Another for Sammy Smodics makes it Blackburn 2, Birmingham City 0 at Ewood Park. What a smashing season the former Peterborough striker is having for John Dahl Thomason. Once again with Blackburn, it's feast or famine. They either win or they lose. They very rarely draw. That was the case of the opening half of their season last season. But they're in control at Ewood Park. Leeds are 2-1 up here at Ellen Road, but Swansea have possession. Cabango plays a neat pass. And a 1-2 with Ollie Cooper. Gets it up to the edge of the area. Jamal Lowe down the right-hand side of the box. Just to fire it across. Looking for Yates. But there were enough back in Leeds white to get it clear. Somerville, deep inside his own half. Clips the ball in field to Sam Byram. And Byram will give it back to Strike. Strike with a square ball along the 18-yard line for Joe Roden. Now Archie Gray. Out on the far side of the field. Swansea won on their last visit to Ellen Road. Back in August 2019, Wayne Routledge was the scorer very late on, and apparently that was their first win in 70 years at Ellen Road.
Yeah, I never ever lost to Swansea.
Did you not?
No. Never played them, mind.
Ah, there you are. Tish. Pascal Strike looks for Sam Byram. Lovely first touch as Byram gets away down the left for Leeds. Early ball into the box, looking for Peru. Well defended by Josh Timon, coming across from left full-back to step in front of Peru and half volley it clear for Swansea. It's out of play for a Leeds throw, 2-1.
Peru's got a gamble there. Sam Byram's in acres of space down the left-hand side, puts a delightful cross. And he just I'm not sure what he's waiting for. He's got to gamble and get across the defender, and if he does, he's got to tap in.
Here's Daniel James down the Leeds right, almost at the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Timon and Lowe watching him. Just starts and stops several times. Brings in Archie Gray. Archie Gray wriggles his way into the box, then just loses possession and clips Jamal Lowe as Lowe tried to bring it clear for Swansea, and that's a free kick to the South Wales side. It's 2-1 to Leeds. We've played 7 minutes of the second half. Cabango plays the ball into Grimes. Grimes with a loose pass. Picked off by Sam Byram. Plays the ball into Cameron. Now Rutter at the edge of the area. Visit to Somerville. Fires it over the bar. Got underneath the shot from about 15 yards out. And he throws his hands to the heavens. Crescencio Somerville as if to say, I should have done a darn sight better with that. Leeds 2, Swansea 1.
Got to hit the target dance. I don't know, he's got time to have 2 touches. And then he just lashes at it. Lacks a little bit of composure. Caused so many problems in the first half, already causing problems in the second. If he just adds that tiny bit of composure to his final pass, final shot, he's going to score double the amount of goals.
Goal kick to Swansea City at the Revienne. Smacked downfield by the left boot of Carl Rushworth. Flicked on by Key, and it went out of play on this near side for a Leeds United throw.
He's got all the attributes to cause so many problems. In this day and age, you can't touch him, you can't go anywhere near him.
Yeah, he's got everything you need. Be interesting to see if people go after him in the January transfer window, Crescencio Somerville.
It's a foul.
But you sense that Leeds will be prepared for that and ready to reinvest on behalf of Daniel Farke.
They've still got Willie Nonto, haven't they?
Yes, and he's on the bench tonight.
Obviously, they refused to let go in the last window, really sort of dug their heels in.
It's a strong-looking Leeds bench, in fairness. Liam Cooper's on there, Patrick Bamford, Jayden Anthony on loan from Bournemouth, Nonto, Jed Spence on loan from Tottenham.
Luke Aylin's still around as well.
Yes.
A lot of experience.
Jamie Shackleton, Charlie Cresswell can't get a look in at the moment. It's a pretty strong squad for Leeds United, but they've got a free kick to defend here. Swansea have it down the right-hand side of the box. It's nearer to the touchline than it is to the side of the 18-yard box, but Jamie Patterson's going to fire it in right-footed, right under the crossbar. Meslier elects to punch clear with both fists. It's headed on by Somerville, but Swansea get there first. Josh Key just lobs it up in the air with Daniel James tearing in at him, and then Archie Gray will get it half clear, and the referee's brought play back for an offside flag against the Swansea player, and the Leeds fans are furious. They wanted Leeds to keep the move going.
Don't quite understand why he's given offside.
No, well, Jamal Lowe was offside, but Leeds were comfortably in possession.
Archie Gray chests the ball down, then he just lobs it over his head, and Leeds play on. Ampadu
works it back to Meslier, who looks up and elects not to send the ball downfield, but gives it to Roden, and he fires it out to Archie Gray on the halfway line. Early ball down the right-hand side. The ball kept in play by Swansea. Bashir Humphreys will clear it left-footed, looking for Jerry Yates, but he's had a very quiet night up front. The ball sails over his head, but Swansea win the second ball. Yates still won't get it as Patterson tried to fire it out to him. Roden now powering forward for Leeds up to halfway, finds Peru across for Camera. Good challenge from Jay Fulton, and then pass back by Humphreys to Rushworth. Not the best pass out from Rushworth to Cabango, but he's still threaded the ball through the eye of the needle for Ollie Cooper. Now Key. Cooper's gone to ground. He was pushed by Camera, and the Leeds fans are incensed with the way this game is being refereed at the moment. Swansea have themselves a free kick.
Why that's not a booking?
He was off the ball.
It's just pushed him off. He's just pushed into the ground off the ball.
Yeah.
The referee's seen it. How is it not a booking?
It's certainly a foul. It certainly wasn't a reason for the Leeds fans to go as tonto as they did.
I don't think many of them saw it, to be honest.
Jamal Lowe weaving through midfield for Swansea. Threads the ball to Josh Key, right-hand side of the area. Tries to put it across the face of goal. It's blocked by Sam Byram. Comes out to this near side, and Key will keep it in play for Swansea City. Level with the penalty area. Looks to go on the outside of Byram for a moment, then just rolls it back 10 yards or so for Fulton. Fulton looking to clip it down the right-hand side of the box for Ollie Cooper, but that's overhit, and it's a goal kick. And Blackburn have a third against Birmingham. James Hill makes it Blackburn Rovers 3, Birmingham City 0 in the Championship. So Blackburn 3 up. Leicester, the leaders, 1 up at Sheffield Wednesday. Southampton 1 up at home to Bristol City. Sunderland and Huddersfield still at 1 apiece. And Ipswich, they are 3-0 up against Millwall in the 8 o'clock kickoff. That second half just getting underway at Portman Road. Here's Archie Gray for Leeds United. Good run over the halfway line. Early ball infield to Daniel James, who has to spin with his back to goal 30 yards out. Looks to clip it to the edge of the area to find Somerville. Oh, it's given away, and Daniel James goes for goal, but plunges Rushworth to his left, and the Swansea keeper makes a good save. Jay Fulton nearly had his head in his hands there as he gave the ball away inside the D. Well, just didn't challenge for the ball. James took it off his toe, but couldn't find the back of the net. Stays Leeds 2, Swansea 1.
Josh Key, pick your time and place. Don't play it to somebody on the edge of the area. I mean, Dan James did really well to go and win the ball back.
Yeah.
And then just had the opportunity, just tried to open himself up and put it in the far corner. Was maybe a little bit off balance because he closed down so quickly, couldn't quite get enough power.
That's Danny Mills, you can hear, former Leeds and England defender, alongside me, Ian Danter here at Ellen Road as we approach the hour mark on Talksport 2. Leeds going third as it stands. They lead Swansea by 2-1, but it is only a 1-goal advantage they've got. But Swansea haven't really shown a great deal in terms of attacking intent in this second half. Michael Duff, standing at the edge of his technical area, must be contemplating a change or two to try and shake things up in Swansea's favour. Meantime, Humphreys at the back works the ball back to the keeper Rushworth. Short pass to Grimes, who comes to the edge of the area. Just chips it out to the left-hand side, but it's kept in play by Timon. No, it isn't actually. Assistant says that went out. It's a throw to Leeds United. Big game for Leeds at the weekend against another one of your former clubs, Middlesbrough, Danny.
Yeah, there's quite a few of my former clubs around.
Well, that's very true. But Middlesbrough next up here on Saturday. And then away at Blackburn, away at Sunderland, and home to Coventry and Ipswich come here just before Christmas.
Borough have a good win last night, am I right in thinking?
Yes, they did, yeah.
It'll be a tough game, that.
Yeah, they had a thumping good win against Preston, Middlesbrough.
I'm sure Michael Carrick will get a good reception here.
Oh, yes. Ball's out of play for a Leeds United throw, right next to where Michael Duff is at the edge of his technical area, just having a quiet word with the referee, Sam Allison, who was elected not to take any further action against Michael Duff. See, a lot of managers get booked these days.
Well, do you know when you talk about time wasting, and you might think this is really fussy, but Sam Byram knows exactly what he's doing there. The ball's rolling and he plays the free kick, knowing full well the referee's going to blow his whistle and bring it back. So that's deliberate. He knows exactly what he's doing.
2-1 to Leeds.
I don't want players ball.
Crunching challenge by Byram on halfway, taking it off the man, and Daniel James is suddenly in the area. Left-footed shot, 3-1. Daniel James gets his name on the score sheet. Cooper was robbed on halfway. Leeds broke forward, slipped in to Daniel James inside the area, and with his left foot he crashed it into the roof of the net at the Revy end. And surely the points are safe for Leeds, and they will keep pace with the top two in the Championship. Leeds 3, Swansea 1.
That should be game over now. Dan James smashes it high into the roof of the net. If this is the Premier League, that's going to VAR and that's getting overturned. Simple as that. Challenge on the halfway line was crude from behind, to say the least. But Dan James is in on goal on his left foot. He just smashes it high into the roof of the net.
Against his old club, Daniel James increases the hurt for Michael Duff. And Leeds are 2 goals clear with just over an hour gone. Suddenly, Ellen Road is a much calmer, less tense place to be with that 2-goal cushion now in the control of Daniel Farker and his men. And Daniel James, who emerged at Swansea really before his move to Manchester United, you might remember, back in 2019. Scores against his old club, so the law of the X has struck twice tonight for Leeds United. Sunderland 1, Huddersfield 2. Delano Bergsorg's put Huddersfield back in front of the Stadium of Light. And Birmingham have a goal back at Blackburn. Sikiri Dembele makes it Blackburn 3, Birmingham 1. And Real Madrid 2, Napoli 2. Napoli equalise in Madrid through Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa, former Fulham midfielder. 63 minutes gone. And Leeds United have a throw on the far right-hand side. And Rutter spins away from Timon. And Grimes gets to the byline, down by the corner flag at the Revy end. Checks onto his left foot, swings a lovely crossover to the far post. Somerville, well, he tried to take it on his chest, but he was losing his balance, falling backwards. And then he fouls Josh Key as he tries to bring it away. And again, some of the fans just beneath us in the John Charles stand not happy with that decision to award a free kick against the Leeds number 10.
It's a blatant foul. Flicks the ball first, but then he trips the player up. Simple as that.
Braga 1, Union Berlin 1 in the Champions League. Ball worked back to Carl Rushworth, who, under pressure from Somerville, manages to get the ball clear for Swansea. And surely Michael Duff now must be thinking of making some changes, Danny Mills, at 3-1 down, to try and affect things.
Well, I think at 2-1 you're thinking, we're still in this, we've got a chance, the players are doing okay. Leeds weren't creating too many chances, though they had a little bit more possession, controlling the game a little bit better, but you're thinking, no, we're still in this, we're still in it. At 3-1, now with just over half an hour or less to go, it's almost gone now. Do you see Swansea scoring 2? No. 3? Definitely not.
Here's Cooper, though, on halfway for the Swans. Just jinking in field and sends a lovely ball just beyond Patterson, who gets it back from Jamal Lowe. But what a lovely interception from Joe Roden, coming across calmly, fires it out for a throw on the far side for Swansea as Leeds repel the latest attack.
Just Leeds back. They've got to be sensible now. They've got to be sensible, got to be professional. Pick your moments to go and attack. Don't have to attack and try and score every time you get the ball. Still want to keep the press up, still want to keep high up the pitch.
Well, here's Josh Key for Swansea, right-hand side. Deep cross to the far post, goes beyond Jamal Lowe. Patterson will try and get there first, does, just ahead of Daniel James. He's got it level with the area left-hand side. Whips it in near post, Lowe can't get the header on it, and Leeds will bring it clear to the former Swansea man, Peru, who looks for another former Swan. Dan James, who's got the afterburners on, but this time Bashir Humphreys, who didn't defend Leeds' second goal all that well when he got out-muscled by Jorginho Rutter, defends that much better and guides it back to his keeper. 3-1 Leeds.
Yeah, got himself in a much better position. You might say, maybe he's learned from that initial mistake, but that one mistake has possibly cost him the game. Going in 2-1 down just before half-time.
Here's Jamal Lowe for Swansea. Plays the ball in field to Jay Fulton, 30 yards out to the left of centre. Swans desperately trying to find a route back into this match, and then Fulton with a poor pass straight out of play. It's about 3 yards behind where Josh Timon was standing waiting for the ball, and Leeds have a throw at 3-1 as we approach the midway point of the second half. More live football tomorrow night on Talksport 2. Baka Topola against West Ham is a 5:45 kickoff. England's women against the Netherlands in the Nations League on Friday night on Talksport 2. And then game day on Saturday. West Brom against Leicester, Saturday lunchtime on Talksport, and Alfreton Walsall at the same time in the FA Cup second round on Talksport 2. And then Burnley against Sheffield United. That will be a real rough and tumble affair at Turf Moor. Both sides desperate for points. I was at Burnley just last Saturday gone, Danny, watching them.
I'm not sure it'll be rough and tumble. Burnley quite play good football these days.
They do try. Koleosho was excellent, but they just didn't have the nous to get past a really hard-working West Ham side who won quite comfortably in the end. Patrick Bamford ready to come on for Leeds United here.
Willie Nonto as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a double change. Strong challenge by Fulton on Rutter on this near side. The referee lets it go. Doesn't have a problem with it. Leeds coming forward with Ethan Ampadu. Finding Archie Graves. Gone into a central position for a moment. Works it back to Joel Peru. Midway point of the Swansea half. Camera to his left. Rutter in a bit of space on this near side of the left. He receives it now. He's got Byram going on the overlap, but Rutter doesn't need him. Whips the ball into the near post, but that's straight into the arms of Rushworth. And not only is there a double change for Leeds coming up, there's a triple change on the way for Swansea City. Charlie Patino, Harry Darling and Liam Cullen all being readied by Michael Duff.
I do sometimes think that there must be a different set of laws of the game for the Premier League and the EFL. Because a lot of the games, a couple of challenges this evening, you're thinking, ooh, at least a yellow card. Not even given as a foul. Premier League, it's like, he could be sent off for some of those.
You're thinking specifically of that challenge on Ollie Cooper that led to Leeds' third goal.
And then
as
the
well.
one just on Rutter there, yeah.
Leeds have possession on halfway, so 5 fresh players about to come onto the field. 2 for Leeds, 3 for Swansea. But meantime, here come the Swans with Ollie Cooper in the centre circle. Flicks it to his right for Key. Key plays the ball in field, goes beyond Grimes, and Peru will pick it up. Just quicker and sharper to that than Jay Fulton. Travelling through the centre circle with the ball at his feet. Flicks it left, Peru for Camera, and out further left here to Jorginho Rutter. Attacking the Revian, gets to the left-hand corner of the box. He's got 2 Swansea defenders backpedaling. Still has it, Rutter. Drives for the byline, goes to ground. No penalty, says the referee. It'll be a goal kick, and that will allow the multitude of changes to be made. And Rutter is the man that's coming off to allow Bamford to enter the fray. And he's played well tonight, Jorginho Rutter, and he got the second goal that set things up nicely at half-time.
When you look at Leeds' squad, the quality of it, the value of it, what was Rutter, 35 million?
Yeah.
I mean, Dan James has been expensive in the past. Obviously, maybe wasn't coming, when he came to Leeds. Somerville wasn't cheap, was he either? I don't think. He was a few quid. Leeds have got a very, very strong squad, and that just goes to show. You're bringing on Patrick Bamford, Willie Nonto, strength in depth. Leeds should be challenging for the automatic promotion.
So Nonto is on as well for Daniel James. Meantime, Liam Cullen is also coming on for Ollie Cooper.
Number 20, Liam Cullen.
So Harry Darling on for Josh Key. And Charlie Patino is coming on for Jay Fulton. Patino on loan from Arsenal, who are currently thumping Lens in the Champions League. So a triple change for Swansea. We'll see how that shakes down in terms of how they're lining up to try and get themselves back into this game. They're 3-1 down, Swansea, to a Leeds side who are going back third in the Championship. 20 minutes to go on Talksport 2. Balls with Pascal Strike running back towards his own 18-yard line. Just coaxes it back to his keeper, Ilan Meslier. A couple of quick goals for Inter at Benfica. It's Benfica 3, Inter 2 now. Marko Arnautovic and David Fratesi getting the quick goals for Inter. Elsewhere in the Championship, Blackburn 3, Birmingham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, the leaders Leicester 1, Southampton 1, Bristol City 0, Sunderland 1, Huddersfield 2, and Ipswich 3, Millwall 0. Those are the latest scores for you from elsewhere in the EFL tonight. Leeds have possession again with Meslier. Not much of a press from Swansea now. They're allowing Leeds to have the ball in their own defensive third without too much intensity.
Yeah, I think the game's just got away from Swansea now. At 2-1, they probably felt they had a chance maybe to nick something, set piece, counter-attack, whatever it might be. Suddenly now they look at it and you're thinking, no, there's no real desire, making 3 changes.
Well, here is Gnonto with his first involvement, having come on as a substitute. Clips the ball infield to Ampadu in the centre circle. Somerville.
It's terrible for a fullback, that, by the way.
Yeah.
You've just been playing against Dan James, who's an absolute whippet. You're thinking, you know what, brilliant, he's going off. On comes Willie Nonto, who's probably just as quick, if not even quicker.
And here he is, just dispossessing Timon down the right-hand side. Shoved over by Jamal Lowe. That's a free kick for Leeds United. Down the right-hand side of the penalty area, and a yellow card for Jamal Lowe for the challenge on the freshly introduced Leeds substitute. 3-1 Leeds are in front.
Yeah, Nonto knows exactly what he's doing. He's looking to run in behind Jamal Lowe's frustration. It's a shoulder charge, but it's a blatant, it's late, it's blatant, it's definite yellow card.
So it'll be Crescencio Somerville to whip this free kick in. It's probably about 15 yards from the dead ball line and a couple of yards in from the touchline on the far right-hand side. Swansea having to hold their line about 8 yards out. Lots of jostling for position around the penalty spot from players of both sides. Referee blows the whistle. Somerville sends the free kick in, headed out by Lowe. Strong header from Lowe out towards halfway. Gnonto has to go back to retrieve it and fires it back to his keeper. Meslier stood in the middle of his own half. Now Glenn Camera, once of Rangers, gives it back to Joe Roden. Roden puts his foot on the ball, wants an option ahead of him, but elects to go square to his right for Archie Gray. Back for Roden once more. And now Meslier, once again the Leeds keeper. Leeds has spent 3 years in the Premier League before relegation last season. Of course, they won this division in the 2019-20 season under Marcelo Bielsa to get into the Premier League for the first time in an awfully long time. And this is Swansea's 6th consecutive season at Championship level after their Premier League relegation in 2018. Had a couple of playoff dabbles in some of those seasons, but 15th and 10th in their last 2 campaigns, Swansea City. And Michael Duff, the man charged with making them more competitive this season, but it's a struggle for him. I think you will probably say, Danny Mills, that Swansea are probably one of the have-nots of the division rather than the haves. If you look at Leeds' squad and what Swansea have got by contrast.
Definitely, and that was always going to be the problem when Swansea got promoted into the Premier League. You know, people can say, disagree with me, whatever, but trying to attract players to Swansea is never going to be easy.
Now Gnonto down the left-hand side of the area for Leeds United. Thought about turning and heading goalwards, but his route to goal was blocked by Patino, but he's still going. Gnonto rides a couple of challenges and across comes Grimes and puts it behind. Has it gone for a corner? No, it stayed in place somehow on this near side and gone out for a Leeds United throw.
You know, a lot of players when Swansea were in the Premier League were probably thinking, feeder club. I'll go there, they play nice football, I'll have a good season or so, then I'll get another move. So that was their only hope, really, but they was all going to struggle to hold on to their best players.
Sam Byron for Leeds United, 3-1 up. Somerville looking to get away down the left-hand side of the area from Darley. Pulls it back. Oh, turned round the post by Bamford. So close to number 4 for Leeds. Somerville again, electric into the area down the left-hand side. Got to the byline and pulled it back, but Bamford put it just the wrong side of the post for Leeds, and Swansea have a goal kick, 3-1.
He just needs something to go in, doesn't he? Yeah, it's a great move. Great run from Somerville down that left-hand side, bursting into the channel, running towards the near post. Cuts it back for Bamford, who just deflects it 6 inches wide.
Well, Bamford has just slipped in. Glenn Kamara at the edge of the area. Gives it back to Bamford, edge of the D! And the shot straight at Rushworth. It just won't go in for Patrick Bamford this season. It's his 10th substitute appearance for Leeds this season, and he's yet to score.
That shot was, I've just missed a chance. I'll make sure I hit the target. Rather than go for the corner with that left foot that he's got, fabulous that it is, he's gone safe and he's hit the target and he's gone straight at the goalkeeper.
Now suddenly Jerry Yates is played in onside down the right hand side of the box, tries to chop back in on his left, gives it back into the area, and it's Liam Cullen who put the ball in, and a needless clearance there by Pascal Strike, was it? No, it was Ampadu in actual fact.
It panicked.
He did panic, and so corner to Swansea at the Norman Hunter end. Blackburn 3, Birmingham City 2. Another for Sekiri Dembele. Comeback is on at Ewood Park. Maybe. Patino's gone across to take
Look at the little twinkle in his eye.
Yeah, I know. So, corner for Swansea City to be taken by Charlie Patino, left-footed, up to about 10 yards out, headed out by Strike, out to the edge of the area. Matt Grimes can hit them, and he hit it the wrong side of the post. He cut across the ball and didn't get it on target. Goal kick to Leeds United. 13 minutes to go. Leeds 3, Swansea 1 it remains.
No real conviction in that shot as it came across. He sort of stabbed at it half-heartedly, sliced it, came off the outside of his foot. Never going to be on target. Looks as if Leeds can't decide who's coming off.
Well, the change was going to be Swansea's. I thought Jamie Patterson was coming off and Liam Walsh was going to come on then. And Yannick Balassi is going to get his first taste of football back in England. And Jerry Yates is the man that's making way for him.
Firpo's coming on with 3-1 up, 12 minutes left. He's had about 4 minutes worth of instructions.
Yeah. They've had the playbooks out, haven't they?
I mean, he must be going through the whole game. He's looking at the whole video.
17, Yannick Balassi.
And Liam Walsh, former Coventry and Birmingham midfielder, is on.
The problem with all that information that Firpo's just been given in the last 2 minutes is he's forgotten it already.
Yeah, Junior Firpo is
you always forget the last thing you're told. Simple as that.
And Jayden Anthony as well, who's on loan from Bournemouth at Leeds. He's going to be on in a minute as well. 3-1 to Leeds. Just over 10 minutes of normal time to play.
They're still telling them what to do. It's like, come on.
I do remember that story that Tony Pulis used to make sure that Traore used to play on the same side as him, as where he was coaching each half, so he could literally bark instructions at him. Adama Traore.
Yeah, quite believe it. Some players need that. But that's an awful lot of instructions they've been given for 10 minutes left.
Now here's Leeds coming forward. Offside flag goes up against Peru. And Swansea will have a free kick. Just over 10 minutes to go, and here come those changes. And Sam Byram, who's had serious injury problems in his time as a player. It's good to see him getting regular football at Leeds, but he's making way for the former Barca man, Junior Firpo. And Crescenzo Somerville's going to get a rapturous round of applause here, and rightly so, because he's been terrific again for Leeds United, and he's the man that's making way for Jayden Anthony. Danny Mills.
I think Sam Byram, he's done well this evening, but he was one of those players that left Leeds too early. He left a little bit too early. You go to a Premier League side, it doesn't quite work out because you go from being in and around the first team to back into the 21s, and it's a difficult step to take. Happened to Jack Clark, and then he took him a couple of seasons, maybe more, to come back and start showing what he's all about. If you make that move too early sometimes, it can actually really hamper your progress. And there was a lot of players in that Leeds era where Leeds were constantly sort of selling young players on, getting rid of them. A lot of young players, I think, in my opinion, were going too soon.
And there are some that are still here who probably had opportunities to go. Jamie Shackleton's probably the one that springs to mind most of all. Jamal Lowe offside, meantime, for Swansea as they try and come forward and reduce the arrears here. Swansea started the night only 7 points above the Championship's bottom three. They might start looking a little more nervously over their shoulder if their form doesn't kick up. They've got Huddersfield next at home. Huddersfield, as you've heard, are winning at Sunderland at the moment by 2-1. Then away matches for Swansea at Rotherham and Stoke before Middlesbrough and Preston come to South Wales prior to Christmas. Rushworth finds Matt Grimes at the edge of his own penalty area. The Swansea captain looks up and gives the ball to Harry Darling, who's playing at right back. Ball played infield and picked up by Charlie Patino. He does run like Jack Wilshere. I don't know whether he's been watching Jack Wilshere when he was coming through at Arsenal, but his gait is very similar to that of the former Gunners and England midfielder Charlie Patino.
What, a little bit bow-legged?
A little. But just that hustle to the way he runs as well. Something a little reminiscent of Jack with that. Had a decent loan spell last season, did Charlie Patino at Blackpool. Scored 3 goals in 30-odd appearances for the Seasiders. Now out on the left-hand side it's Liam Walsh. Good ball infield for Liam Cullen. Cullen, left-hand corner of the area. He's got Joe Rodon back pedalling. Patino back heels it, but he was looking for Liam Walsh, and then there was a tug on a Leeds player. And a free kick to Leeds at the edge of their own penalty area. Swansea trying to be a bit too clever for their own good there. 3-1 Leeds.
Game just starting to fizzle out a little bit, isn't it? And it's just got to that stage now where I think Swansea have almost accepted the fact they're not going to win this game, not going to get back into it. Leeds are cruising. Don't really need to exert themselves any more than they need to.
Well, Leeds won 6 out of their last 8 in the Championship before tonight. Will continue their good, upwardly mobile stance in the Championship, and they've just released Jayden Anthony down the left-hand side. Left-hand corner of the box. Firpo takes over down the left-hand side, plays it across the 6-yard box looking for Bamford. There were enough back for Swansea to get it half clear, but only as far as Glenn Camera. Bamford now, with his back to goal 30 yards out. Camera wriggles through, somehow it wriggles through to Patrick Bamford, who tried to take a shot from the left-hand corner of the 6-yard box, and Harry Darling deflected it behind for a corner kick to Leeds United at the Revy end. 3-1.
It squirms through to Patrick Bamford. In his prime, he hits that straight away. Doesn't even think about it. But he hesitates. Then he has a little pause. And then all of a sudden the defender's back and has closed him down and he can't get his shot away.
Benfica 3, Inter 3. Alexis Sanchez, once of Manchester United, has levelled for Inter in Portugal. Corner for Leeds United. Taken by Jayden Anthony. Whipped into the near post and cleared off the line. It was Roden who flicked the ball goalwards as he ran across the line from right to left. And it was Liam Cullen who was at the near post who headed it behind for another corner to Leeds United at the Revy end. 3-1.
I think it might just have been going wide. He couldn't quite take that chance. But again, corners. I think all but 2 this evening from Leeds have hit the first man.
Let's see what Anthony does with this corner. This is deeper to the far post, headed out by Cabango to the edge of the area. Patino trying to hold off Glenn Camera, and does well, Patino, and he's been pulled back by the Leeds number 8 and gets the free kick from Sam Allison. And Swansea take the kick quickly because they need to get the ball down the other end of the field. Time is running out for them. Just over 5 minutes to play on Talksport 2 here at Ellen Road. Leeds United going third in the table with the 3 points they're picking up here. Here's Jamal Lowe. Loses out to Roden, and then Ampadu finds Camera with an early ball to set Willie Gnonto away down the right-hand side. Timon backpedaling. Gnonto gets to the right-hand corner of the box, scampers for the byline, tries to pull it across. Bashir Humphrey's got an important toe in at the near post, and it's thumped clear by Swansea, and Jamal Lowe will try and hold it up, and he gets a push in the back from Rodon, does it? He does, says the referee. Swansea free kick. But Leeds are nearly there at 3-1 up.
Yeah, Swansea are offering nothing going forward now. Pretty much given up the ghost. 5 minutes to go. I think really now it's just looks like a game of just seeing the game out, doesn't it?
Well, there's a few making for the exits, maybe to beat the traffic as much as anything else from the locals here. But
there are a lot of roadworks around here, if you noticed.
Yeah, thanks for that. Looking forward to waiting in the car park for an inordinate length of time.
Well, you could have stayed at mine, Dan.
Well, you never offered.
Well, you never asked.
To the left-hand side, Balassi.
You have to make a reservation.
His first involvement for Swansea. Good ball in from the left flank, and it was headed out by Firpo. Kept at the edge of the area. Walsh had a go for goal, and it was blocked, and away come Leeds United on the counter-attack. Peru, the former Swansea man, drifts over the halfway line. Options left and right. Goes just to his right for Gnonto. Gnonto looks early for Firpo. And he picks the ball up left-hand side, midway point of the half, but just slows the game down and plays a couple of 1-2s with Glenn Camera.
Yeah, Leeds just controlling it now.
Yeah.
Dictating the game, passing the ball around at will.
Back it goes to Pascal Strike on halfway, and it seems like an eternity since Strike's weak header allowed Jamie Patterson to fire Swansea in front.
I can't really remember Swansea having a trouble in Meslier in the second half.
No, I can't think of anything that he's had to do other than collect the occasional back pass. Gnonto making a strong run down the right-hand side as the ball's out on the Leeds right with young Archie Gray. He's all skin and bones, Archie Gray, but he's developing nicely as a talent through the academy.
He's a fabulous player. I just don't want him to be stuck out in that right-back position. It's not really his position. He's better in the midfield.
Needs must, though, I guess, for Leeds United.
Well, you say that, but they've got Sam Byram, they've got Firpo coming back, they've got other players that can play in that position. You know, he'll be absolutely delighted just he's playing. You know, any young player is.
Just shy of 35,000 inside Ellen Road tonight. 34,905 in West Yorkshire.
But I wouldn't want Archie Gray to become an okay right back where he could become a very, very good midfield player.
Well, I think if he fills out in the shoulders, you know, broadens those a little bit so he can be...
I know, it's definitely good for him,
Yep.
but long term,
Yes.
he's got to be thinking, right, okay, need to be in the middle, playing in that role. If he keeps, what I'm saying is, if he keeps doing okay at right back, he might end up staying there.
Well, Strike, who captained the side tonight, is going off, and the man who replaced tonight, who we thought would be out for a long period of time, Liam Cooper, who went off injured against Rotherham, but he's recovered very, very quickly, and he's back out there for these last 2 minutes of normal time plus whatever referee Allison wants to add on for additional time. But Leeds closing in on 3 very important points here at Ellen Road. 3-1 the score on Talksport 2.
Yeah, really important, especially with the other teams in and around them winning as well. They've got to keep that gap closed.
And as we mentioned, Middlesbrough to come here on Saturday will provide a very, very stern test. The way that they're playing at the moment. I was speaking to Graham Courtney last night, our man in the North East, and he was saying just how easy Middlesbrough made it look against Preston. So that will be a very intriguing match here at Ellen Road at the weekend.
Yeah, good coach Michael Carrick has done very, very well. Obviously a huge, vastly experienced.
And of course he's got Jonathan Woodgate there as well as an assistant coach.
He's got quite a bit of experience as well.
Sure has. Ball headed away by Archie Gray. Cooper plays it down the line, but Yannick Bolasie keeps it in play for Swansea, just clips it back to halfway, and Humphreys looking for an option, holds his arms out just to say, show for me somebody.
I still reckon those two are the best two in training. Woodgate and Carrick.
Yes, more than likely. Ball played up into the feet of Liam Cullen. But then he's dispossessed by Anthony. Kamara in the centre circle finds Peru. Peru finds Jadon Anthony.
Offside.
Bamford trying to stay onside, and the ball was hit far too far ahead of him anyway, but he didn't look onside at any point, did he?
No, never got himself onside. Again, just lacking a little bit of confidence, a little bit of self-belief.
We're into 4 minutes of minimum added time. And Sheffield Wednesday have just equalised against Leicester. Jeff Hendrick, the former Derby man, has equalised at Hillsborough against the leaders. That's a big goal at both ends of the table. Sheffield Wednesday desperate for points, of course. Bottom of the pile. And Blackburn have sealed all 3 points against Birmingham. They're now 4-2 up in stoppage time at Ewood Park. Harry Leonard with the 4th for John Darl Thomason's side. 3-1 here to Leeds United. And aside from the first minute of the game, it's all gone their way, Leeds United, tonight. As Jamal Lowe gets to the byline and does win a corner off Liam Cooper. So a late chance for Swansea to make the nerves jangle a little bit here at Ellen Road. And across comes Liam Walsh to take this corner kick. Right-footed out swinger. Everybody back for Leeds inside their own 18-yard box. Drilled in by Walsh. Headed away by Firpo to Grimes 30 yards out. A few Swansea fans tell him to shoot, but he's given it back to the left-hand side. Now Grimes puts it into the area, and a header from Harry Darling trying to loop it over Meslier, but it was a comfortable catch for the Leeds keeper in the end. 3-1.
Don't see many headers scored from outside 12 yards, Dance. Very, very rare. Trying to loop it over the goalkeeper from the edge of the box with your head. Very, very difficult skill.
Meslier clears the ball downfield. So we played a minute and a half of the minimum 4 that had been added on. Good shielding of the ball by Patrick Bamford. Gets a shove from Ben Cabango as he moves downfield, and then Camera gets a shove to the ground by Liam Cullen, and that's a free kick for Leeds United. And the referee wants a little word with Patrick Bamford about the bit of roughhouse him and Cabango were having. Yeah, Cabango's been called over too, and the referee's just reminding him both to cool it. And they're still talking between the two of them. Millwall get what looks like a consolation at Ipswich. There's still 10 minutes to play there in the 8 o'clock kickoff. Ipswich 3, Millwall 1. Kevin Nisbet gets a goal back for Millwall under new management. Joe Edwards taking over there.
Yeah, tough gig for Joe Edwards, that. Not an easy one. We'll probably try and impart a completely different style to Gary Rowett had as well.
Now here comes Peru finding Bamford. at the right-hand corner of the box. Plays in Nonto down the right-hand side. Pulls it back for Jayden Anthony. Ball stuck under his feet. Can they finally get a shot away, Leeds? No, they can't. And Grimes will clear downfield. Huddersfield have beaten Sunderland by 2-1. Big win for Darren Moore. Crossing for Jayden Anthony, headed over the bar. Late chance for Leeds to make it 4, but Anthony couldn't keep the header down. Goal kick.
Good cross, rose well. Couldn't get it on target. I think he'd be disappointed when he sees this back. Had time and space. Free header.
It's a lovely ball in from Archie Gray. Meantime, one last chance maybe for Swansea. Liam Cullen bursting forward. Feeds Harry Darling. Level with the edge of the area, right-hand side. Closed down by Firpo. Works it back in field to Liam Cullen, but his crossfield ball's just going to drift out of play. And we're into the last 30 seconds of the minimum 4 that's been added on.
Go on, ref, that'll
by Sam Allison. And Leeds have a throw deep in their own half and are in no great hurry to take it. Archie Gray, the man with the ball in his hands. Peru showing for him down the line, so too Bamford. Bounces between the two of them, and Nonto picks it up. Maybe one last chance for Leeds. Early ball from Nonto infield looking for Anthony, but it was intercepted. And Swansea have it back, and the referee puts his whistle to his mouth and brings the game to a conclusion. And Leeds United are back up to 3rd in the Championship table and making sure that those above them don't gain ground on Daniel Farke's men. It was a dreadful start for Leeds United as visitors Swansea went ahead with a minute gone. Jamie Patterson pouncing on a poor backward header from Strike to coolly half volley the ball over Meslier and into the back of the net. But before long, Joel Peru, the former Swansea man, had got Leeds level. Lovely finish from Somerville's precise pass. Right on half-time came the crucial moment when Ampadu's ball over the top was beautifully controlled by Jorginho Rutter. Out-muscled Bashir Humphreys at the back for Swansea and slotted home for Leeds to make it 2-1 at the break. And it ended up 3-1 in the end for Leeds United as they march on together towards the top 3. And it was another former Swansea man, Daniel James, who scored just after the hour mark to seal the points for Leeds. Daniel Farke will be a happy man tonight as his team are keeping pace with Ipswich and maybe eating into that Leicester lead a little bit, Danny Mills, if the result stays the same at Hillsborough.
Yeah, I think Leicester will be disappointed with that if it does finish that way. I mean, this game was, well, it was incredible opening, wasn't it? You know, 3 goals in the first 5 minutes, 1 disallowed, and then it settled down a little bit after that. But I think the goal just before half-time is really what did for Swansea. Jorginho Rutter going through one-on-one with a goalkeeper, hopeful ball over the top, fantastic touch. Absolutely superb touch, a really good finish. Poor defender, I have to say, from Humphrey. Should have done a lot better in that situation. But suddenly, you're in the game 1-1, thinking we've got a chance. And then you go in seconds before half-time, 2-1 down. Massive blow. And in the second half, I have to say, Swansea never really laid a glove on Leeds, who controlled it pretty much, had it all their own way in the second half. Relatively easy for them in the end.
The truth is that this Leeds squad, you look at the bench tonight, is as much of an indicator as anybody could need.
Oh, it's
animals that they've got. They've got the resources to challenge.
The expectations, you know, we've mentioned it during commentary. You know, Rutter, what did he cost? What's Dan James cost in the past? Somerville, I think, cost a few quid as well. You know, they've kept hold of Willie Nonto, is what, 30-odd million they rebuffed for that. They've got a real strong squad in there, and they've got a lot of experience in there as well. You know, Firpo's in there, Aylin's to come back, Cooper's been there, you know, in and around a long, long time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. Dan James is worth a few quid. You know, obviously played at Man United, got to move there once upon a time. So there's a lot of quality in and around this Leeds squad. Strength in depth as well. So, yeah, rightly so. They will be expected to be minimum playoffs. But I think Leeds fans and people at the club will be expecting them to be in those automatic spots.
Elsewhere, Sunderland 1, Huddersfield 2 is a full-time score. Southampton have beaten Bristol City by 1-0. Carl Walker-Peters with the only goal of the game for the Saints, who are now 10 unbeaten. They're going well. Another relegated side like Leeds, who are keeping the results coming. 10 unbeaten for Southampton. Blackburn 4, Birmingham City 2. Blackburn, who lost their last 2 at home, get it right tonight by winning by 4-2 against Birmingham City. It's still Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leicester 1, Ipswich 3-0 up on Millwall. They're still playing at an 8 o'clock kickoff. And the sports bar is open for business over on Talksport from 10 o'clock with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. You can get your calls in on 03717 223344. That's the number to call in to have your say on national radio. Give them a call about Leeds as well, Leeds fans, as you make your way home. Tell them how well Daniel Farker's got this team organised, because
and he's been here. He knows how to work. He knows how to manage in this division. But also, Dan, you just mentioned Southampton now. You've got Leicester, Leeds and Southampton in the top 4.
Yep.
3 sides that got promoted in the bottom 4 of the Premier League.
Yep.
It just goes to show that the gap is widening, isn't it? That's the problem now.
Well, that game has finished now at Hillsborough. Full time, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leicester 1.
They're still top though. Leeds dropped points at Rotherham, so they're not going to go on. They're not going to win every single game.
So looking at the table now, Leicester, all the clubs have played 18 games. Leicester, 43 points. Ipswich, who are surely going to win against Millwall, 42 points, 1 behind Leeds. Then Leeds on 35. Southampton up to 4th with that win with 34. West Brom, who won last night, on 32. And Hull, who won last night, up to 30. Blackburn on 28 with Preston. Cardiff down to 9th on 27. And at the other end, that point for Sheffield Wednesday, well, it still keeps them bottom because they were well adrift of those above them. They have 7 points now. Rotherham second bottom on 12. They were beaten heavily last night at Hull. QPR on 13 points, got their first win for Martí Cifuentes. Huddersfield, big win for them tonight. Opens up a 6-point gap between them and the bottom 3 with their 2-1 win at Sunderland, Danny Mills. Big win for Darren Moore.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, so tight. You're going all the way down. How far do you go down to say who's still in a chance with the playoffs? You look at Bristol City are 5 points off the playoffs. Obviously didn't get the result they wanted tonight.
Well, I'd look at Norwich and Watford as 2 teams who disappointed hugely last year, having got relegated to try and get involved in the playoffs. Well, Coventry, of course, did brilliantly, but they had Gyökeres last season.
Yeah.
And without him...
Birmingham?
Well, I'd love to say so, but, a 4-2 defeat at Blackburn tonight doesn't make things look good. But, yeah, they're not completely out of touch, but...
The problem is there's so many teams between them, isn't it?
That's exactly. You've got so much traffic to negotiate. Yeah. You've got to be brilliant. You've got to show championship-winning form from this point.
But there is always somebody that comes on a run, in the second half of the season. But it is, I think it's starting to tell. Leicester, magnificent squad of players. Leeds, magnificent squad of players. Southampton have kept the nucleus of their squad as well in there. And that's why it's difficult, because it's a very, very old adage. But the best players, 90% of the time, the teams with the best players tend to finish highest in the league. Well, to have the best players, Dan, you've got to have the most money. I know Ipswich will be the caveat within that, but that's generally how it is in this league at the moment, isn't it?
And Swansea, back to the drawing board for Michael Duff, who doesn't have a great deal of resources to work with, certainly compared to his opposite number tonight. But I don't know how nervously he'll be looking over his shoulder what's going on beneath them.
Yeah, 7 points, isn't it? It's a decent buffer at the moment. QPR, Rotherham, are they going to win many games? Sheffield Wednesday, they're 12 points from safety. That's 4 wins to get level. That ain't going to happen anytime soon.
Well, Danny Raw's got his work cut out, certainly with Sheffield Wednesday. Arsenal have scored a 6th late on against Lens. Jorginho with a penalty